It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented Aimchess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aimchess. Aimchess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com or Lichess account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aimchess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aimchess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aimchess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aimchess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aimchess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aimchess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a Queen's Gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aimchess, for when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. It's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. Look, just sign up for Aimchess, okay? Just, come on, literally, why not? Alright, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go, alright? Jesus Christ.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses.
Welcome everybody. My name is Jan Pomnishi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Bolger.
You know what? I learned a lot.
This whole concept of just bulldozing the Black King, jumping in there with the Queen, and making sure the Rook comes in with a ladder mate is everything this chapter is about.
Everything this chapter is about.
The point is, I don't want you to get a move that's not in the course and go, I don't know what to do!
I don't know what to do!
92% of games get to this position. From this position, White is winning about 60-70% of the time. And I think if you learn these lines, that very easily could be 75% or 80% for you.
doesn't look like much, but neither would a Sicilian defense to the untrained eye. This is a performance enhancer. You don't see it? How about now? Manage your air quality, sharpen your performance, change the game with Airthings.
sitting, eyes for your eyes, lips for your lips, skin for your skin, sin for your sin. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. The damage is done, but I don't care. You're worth the cost, but I don't care. All I ever wanna be is eyes for eyes, lips for your lips, skin for your skin, sin for your sin. Eyes for your eyes, lips for your lips, skin for your skin, sin for your sin. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. Feel it now, 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 now. Think about it later. All I ever wanna be is eyes for your eyes, lips for your lips, skin for your skin, sin for your sin.
Doesn't look like much, but neither would a Sicilian defense to the untrained eye. This is a performance enhancer. You don't see it? How about now? Manage your air quality, sharpen your performance, change the game with Airthings.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final day of the Airthings Masters. The grand finale is waiting for us. Magnus Carlsen, the triple world champion, is facing Hikaru Nakamura, the most anticipated matchup in chess. I can't wait. My name is Gustafsson. I'll later be joined by the great Peter Leko to talk us through all the action. But before we get to the action, let's say hi to Michael from our sponsor. The Airthings Masters is sponsored by Airthings, the official air quality partner of the Champions Chess Tour. Michael, what brings you here? What do you do at Airthings? What do you have to do with chess? Hi.
Nice to meet you, Jan. Probably poor replacement for Peter Leko for the first bit of the segment, but I'll give it a go. So for Airthings, I work as a social media manager, and then I also run the chess partnership for the company. So the partnership started in December of 2020 with the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, which then became the Champions Chess Tour. And it happened because we were actually quite close to play Magnus, even like geographically. Plus that Norwegian connection, we knew about Play Magnus. We knew they were running this tour. And then we were reading more about these studies with air quality and cognitive ability. And we thought, this seems like a pretty intuitive way to market our products, and this is a really good use case for our products. And then I actually started with the company about 6 months after that, and then I moved to Norway because I like the job and the company so much, and here I am in Oslo.
Beautiful. Are you a chess player yourself? Did you connect over the chess thing, or how did that happen?
Yeah, pretty much. I was on Chess24 looking up results of some tournament. It was like something in Prague around May, and I saw an ad looking for someone who knew marketing and knew chess. And I played chess when I was younger, quite seriously in high school in Ireland. And then I thought, sounds like me. I was studying a master's in marketing at the time, so I didn't even look at where the location was, and I tossed an application in, and then I got an interview, and here I am.
Here we are. Fantastic. So tell me about Airthings and what I have to do to be better at chess and more focused. I have the device here. It tells me right on 19 p.m. 2:30, 9. Is that good? Is that bad? When do I react? I check on the app, of course. Usually I just
the PM needs to be below 10. So I think you're okay for now. As far as how to become a better chess player, I would say it's in the high 99% stuff you already know that I couldn't tell you, such as opening theory, general intelligence. But I genuinely think where we can offer the value proposition is that extra 1% that is kind of what separates you top guys from one another. I mean, you're all the top players, but those edges, that's where a product like ours can come in, or it's just where something like good air quality comes in. So players obviously, sorry, go ahead.
Especially with chess moving online and all of us sitting in our basements, I know for myself how easy it is to just keep sitting there, not opening the window and getting stuck. And in general,
and it's kind
like
of
it's an issue in chess.
Yeah, it really is, and we saw that with that study that came out of Maastricht. And Stefan was actually on the other broadcast talking about that. It got quite a bit of coverage, and basically the study said pollution makes you slightly worse at chess, which isn't shocking, but it's not something you think about because air is something we breathe constantly every day. Like when you're dehydrated, you get thirsty. That's like a biological reminder. When you need food, you get hungry, another biological reminder. But when you're breathing bad air, often the only thing that can be the reminder is a headache. And at that point, if you get a headache over a chessboard and your opponent doesn't have a headache, you're kind of toast.
That's a bit late, yeah. I heard even in this World Rapid Championship they played recently in Astana, Kazakhstan, there were some complaints or some concerns by the players about the air quality. How does it work? Like, I understand opening the window, but how often do I have to do it other than Airthings telling me what's in the air actually that I can influence that helps my concentration or awareness? Yeah, completely. Well, the case in Kazakhstan was something that needs to be dealt with by like the building managers of where the playing hall was, because that's thousands of players, or at least hundreds, in a room breathing the same air. So that's like a ventilation issue. They clearly needed to ventilate better, get more air circulating, get a proper temperature that is conducive to the comfort of the players, also including the dress code. One of the things that was said was they were enforcing this dress code, but the heat was too high. But I think our product becomes way more useful, or at least good air practices become more useful when you're in your own room. And that's why I guess the Champions Chess Tour is this place to sponsor chess and not, say, Tata Steel. Gotcha. For air quality, at least, because we'd be benefiting all the players. So there's no edge there if they're all getting the same air quality, which they should be anyway. But things you can do apart from opening the window, which is a great thing, is just generally we saw, for example, Magnus getting tech support with the chess bras right before the event. And if you actually saw his CO2 levels as that was happening, they were like steadily rising as the chess bras were expelling more CO2. They do that. And so yeah, they do that. We all do, I guess. But that wouldn't be a great idea just before you're about to play chess. I wouldn't say host a party in your room, in your gaming room. Okay, that's gonna come natural to most chess players. My practical problem is I'm in my basement. It's cold here. I don't have a proper heating. So it's often a compromise. Do I open the window? Do I improve the air? And it's cold. What can Airthings do there? Do you guys deliver heaters as well? I need a fix for that.
Well, I guess an induction heater would be best, but yeah, typically this is where someone like Magnus probably has the advantage because he's Norwegian, and stereotypically he actually doesn't mind the cold. So you saw even in Toronto, he was opening the window, and he's just built different, put simply, as are a lot of Norwegians, as I've come to understand from living here. But yeah, I guess the device can also act as just a general reminder. You don't have to open your window the whole time, but you can do something as simple as stepping outside. Like I know in Airthings, we kind of use our sensors as indications of when to break from meetings. So we're sitting in a meeting for 45 minutes. We're all getting sluggish. Someone checks the sensor. Okay, time for a break. Let's air this room out. Let's go get some walking in, something like that.
Makes a lot of sense. At what point should I react? I usually check on the app, and as long as it says air quality is fair, I'm not concerned. Should I open the window even when it says it's fair?
Fair, yeah. Fair isn't. I'll put it this way: it's not like a lost position, but you're probably minus 0.1 or something, or you could be better. Poor is where you actually need to act. Our gauge for what's poor is actually quite poor, and unfortunately, we saw that with someone like Prague CO2. He's playing from Chennai, and yeah, I definitely, again, like, take nothing away from his opponents, but it's just not something that could have helped his play. Put it that way. Gotcha. But you can go for green, Jan. I promise you can do it.
I'll hang in there. Fair is the enemy of good. Understood. We're about to see the big match between Carlsen and Nakamura. What's your prediction? Who you got?
I hate to take the safe bet for Carlsen, but he has a few things going in his favor, which is also the double elimination format. So Nakamura probably has one of the toughest feats in chess history today, which is having to beat arguably the greatest player ever twice back to back. It kind of seems cruel to make him try and do that, but knowing Nakamura, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. But if I had money on it, it would be on Magnus. But I'm just excited to watch, honestly.
Yeah, he does have a free roll that should help his chances in the first match. But it's still gonna be very exciting. All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We should remind our viewers, there's also a special offer available for everyone watching the Airthings Masters to get the Airthings Wave Plus. Can you tell us about it? We have it there on the screen.
I can. It has a really good CO2 sensor, and that's the main benefit for chess players. That's the main thing that kind of makes us slower, and it's actually the lowest price ever. And it's probably going to get higher again, but we basically wanted to reach as many chess players as possible because we're confident that when people actually try the product, they'll see the benefits. It seems a bit far-fetched in theory, but we can confidently say when people get the product, they're like, oh yeah, this actually was pretty useful.
All right, thank you so much. Check out Airthings and get yourself one of these things in beautiful white sitting here on my desk. Thanks a lot, Michael, and
thanks, Jan.
Get Peter on the show to join us for all the excitement that I cannot muster. Peter Leko, a man who loves chess, who knows chess, who will be telling us all about it. Peter, how are you today?
Hello, Jan. Hello, everyone. Super excited for this grand finale. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen against Hikaru Nakamura. We have seen some very big fight yesterday between Vestiso and Hikaru. I feel like Vesti was very close of reaching the grand finale, but it's Hikaru there. I listened to the interview of Hikaru, and he said he knows exactly that in order to beat Magnus, he has to show his very best game, and that's what I'm expecting. I want to see hell of a fight.
I'm not a math expert. I was thinking about this because the format is they play one final, and if Magnus wins it, it's over. Because Magnus has won all his matches so far. Hikaru would have lost 2 matches, double elimination, he's out. So if we say, let's say Magnus is a 60-40 favorite. So he has the 60% there, and then if they play another one, if we assume he's still 60-40 favorite, what does that make the odds overall? Because I'm stupid, I honestly don't know the answer. Are you good at math?
Well, I think you are much better and much more experienced with all these calculations. I rely more on my feelings. Yeah, the feelings are for me much more important than any of these maths. And I believe that it's kind of a very tricky psychological situation because Magnus has already beaten Hikaru. So he might feel like I have done this job already. Hikaru, on the other hand, has lost to Magnus. Now he bounces back and he gets another chance. I don't know at all whom does this psychologically favors more. One thing is clear, that Hikaru knows exactly that forget about beating Magnus twice. I first have to win a game, then I have to win the match, and only after that we can start to calculate.
Disagree on having to win a game. He's shown us you can win matches without having to win a game. But point, of course, taken. I would think Magnus, he also expressed he wasn't very happy with the chess level in their last match. I think that might serve as motivation for him. Just trying to do better, trying to show he can play better. They both can play better. So I'm expecting a good match today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, clear that Magnus has to play better. He had these incredible chances in game 1 and game 2 that he did not convert any of it. I think Magnus is still, hitting his head on the wall that, okay, it just should not happen. Luckily, he survived that Armageddon, because actually that's what I love when Hikaru plays chess, and he has revealed his strategy that for today he's willing to take more risk with the white. He needs to push Magnus, because that's what he has done in the Kiva finals in 2020 that everybody remembers. He went for very sharp, critical main lines, not letting Magnus play in his comfort zone, not giving up the white color. And then we know exactly that Magnus has all the abilities to impose his will also on Hikaru. So just relying on holding with black shouldn't really work against Magnus.
Yeah, especially because the Armageddon Magnus also last time showed he's very in tune with the psychological games and what he wants and what Hikaru's comfort zone is. I think Hikaru against everybody else, he's comfortable reaching the Armageddon. But against Magnus, you can't be sure. He has a pretty good track record in decisive games as well. So I think we can just lean back and look for one hell of a match between the two greatest rapid players that we have out there.
Yeah, and the big question, do we know already who starts with the white pieces? I'm assuming Magnus, if he has the chance. Yes, yeah, Magnus has. So, okay, then the strategy absolutely clear for Hikaru. He needs to block Magnus in game 1 just to show that, no, my friend, you are, no matter how good you play, I don't gonna give you any chances. And with white to set the tone and show that, yes, today it's gonna be a very tough and rough day for you, Magnus Carlsen. So that's the strategy. Of course, we know that Magnus is so good that no matter what kind of strategy you have, whether you will be able to implement it against Magnus, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Usually Hikaru has been giving chances. It just hasn't mattered because no one's been able to convert them. I mean, he's not going to do it on purpose, but psychologically, if he gets a bad position and saves that, then that could be even better for him, because Magnus will think, what do I have to do to win a game against this guy? Seems impossible. On the other hand, Nakamura can't always rely on saving his way out of a bad position, right? Chess is still chess. In a bad position, you have a bad position. So I'm curious if that scenario will play itself out once again.
Yeah, and the game can start any moment.
We're ready.
We are eagerly waiting for move 1. What is your prediction, Jan?
D4.
Yes, I understand your point, because the knight fc won't be repeated. They both used the move knight fc in the first match. Bring some new territory.
Yeah, and E4, Nakamura plays the Berlin Italians. Okay, people have asked him some questions now, but I'm not sure if Magnus feels that's the place to go looking. In D4, I don't know. You will get knight f6, e6. He could have had a look at that Bogo that Nakamura played the last time. He probably had something in mind against the Queen's Gambit or the Scimitar, or maybe he wanted the Catalan. You can also look at the Nimzo. It feels like D4 is likely, but I'm usually wrong about Magnus's openings. We'll see what he feels he should do.
Yeah, that's the trick. When you play too many first moves, then also for Magnus it should be confusing. Yeah, there are arguments for every single move that maybe I should do that, but you can only do one at a time. So a lot of pressure on Magnus on move 1 already, and c4 play.
C4 it is. He wants 2 knight c3, not making it so easy to get to the Nimzo, yeah? No, he goes knight f3. I'm wrong again. What's his point? e6, g3, or what do we want? We'll find out.
Yeah, could easily be because he avoids the Bogo. No, he goes knight c3, but
he wanted to stop the Bogo. Yeah, interesting.
Wow, is Bogo so strong? that people should be afraid of it.
Seems like. And d5, d4. Now Nakamura can play c5 or bishop e7. Those have been his two main moves. Let's see which one he goes for.
Yeah, I think the sudden Firuza game makes Black's life a bit scary for a rapid game. Yeah, that maybe inside c5, White might be able to come up with a special move, and if it's not your absolute main repertoire, then probably just sticking with bishop e7 for Hikaru would be wiser.
Yeah, especially since he's thinking he probably was ready to play the Bogo again, and he hadn't thought much about this move order. So that would be first tiny minor victory for Mr. Carlsen. He goes dc4.
Wow.
My old friend Liviana, he's beaten Magnus in the past on his e4 b5 line, and maybe he still thinks it comes as a surprise. Interesting. Carlsen, I haven't checked if he has new games, but at some point he has 0 out of 3 with White from this position.
Well, I think we are both very happy to see this because this is a very interesting, dynamic, double-edged position. I believe that now the last state of terror, if White plays very precisely, then it's kind of dangerous for Black. But okay, this is a rapid game, and it's a completely different dynamic. Yeah, and you are also not necessarily expecting it, so you might not. A3, wow.
Yeah, this is a trend. Some early a3s, then to go bishop e3, knight c3, sometimes queen c2. But of course, all kinds of moves have been tried here. It's a fascinating line. I keep trying to make it work. It's not easy, but it's also very hard for White to play, especially if it comes unannounced, because it's not the normal patterns. So sometimes it's a bit easier for Black to play all these moves. Bishop e7, rook b8, and then, well, rook b8 you don't always do. You go queen d7, bishop e7, sometimes long castles. It's quite a rich position. I quite like it, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. Usually you have to use it at the right moment. And Hikaru goes queen d7. All right, yeah. Okay. Hinting at long castles options, or do you think he just wants to make sure that he touches this knight on b5?
Yeah, I think it's standard. I think you need it in every line, but you're not sure yet if you need bishop b7 or rook b8 or bishop e7. So he starts with that, just making the move he feels he should be playing. But yeah, now he commits to bishop b7. And yeah, I think queen c2 has been the trendy move here. Curious if Magnus is going to play that. Often with the idea that if White goes, like Black goes bishop e7, you even have some h4, knight g5 ideas. The rook can come to d1. But of course, White can play many moves. And if you switch on the computer here, it usually gives like 5 different moves with 0-30, which makes it tough to analyze.
Yeah, I also remember that this queen c2 and then, yeah, queen c2 on the board. Keeping all the options open, not to castle too early, get ready with rook d1, maybe even bishop e2, but not castle, and then combine with h4 and so on, is what the latest games are bringing.
Yeah, it can get very messy. What theory? Some knight a5, maybe? Trying to recall, there were some super sharp lines here, something like this. Castles, long castles with a serious mess. Where yeah, the computer likes White a little, but it wasn't that simple, and it looks a bit scary for White as well to castle into this.
Yeah, it's a strange pawn structure. Yeah, these double pawns from Black side, but on the other hand, he gets the d5 square. That's the key square in the position. The bishop on b7 and the knight on b6 are beautifully placed. Knight a5 opens up the diagonal, hinting eventually at knight b3, but it's not even the real idea probably behind knight a5, just opening up the bishop and getting access to the d5 square.
Yeah, here comes knight a5. And White has to decide. Probably bishop f3 is not a big threat, so yeah, he goes rook d1 first. I wasn't sure in the line I gave if they start with bishop e2 or rook d1. But I think the key move for Black for some reason was an early f5, like bishop e7, bishop e2, f5 or something.
But rook b8 is on the board. This is somewhat...
Oh, that's very surprising.
Yes.
That might be bad, because he can no longer castle, and White is very ready with this bishop e2, h4 to make life miserable for the king if it comes here. So I don't like rook b8 against this line. I think it could be a mistake, actually.
Yeah, it's like playing the position too routinely without paying attention what White is really trying to achieve.
Yeah, you can do that if White castled kingside, then it's typical bishop e7, and sometimes you castle kingside as well. But to commit so early when White hasn't castled yet, I think it's very dangerous. The king can no longer hide.
Yeah, this is the question, because is it a well-analyzed opening for Hikaru, or was he just trying to, last minute come up with a surprise and was thinking about it? It's a big question.
Feels like he prepared this once whenever they played it a year ago or a year and a half ago, but theory has moved on a little, and probably today he was caught a little off guard by this move order and remembered he could also play this line where he won a game. But it feels like he's not in touch with the latest developments, and Magnus is. Yep, let's start this move h4, and now castles knight g5 is very bad news. Other than that, you have all this typical stuff, this h5, rook h3, rook g3. This is a dangerous position with the rook on b8.
Yeah, you just can't castle along anymore. This is such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Usually after h4, h6 is the thematic way of stopping knight g5, but in this moment, we don't feel that it really helps black.
Also, let's say I go here and you castle, maybe I still have knight g5. No, like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, you might, but also rook g3 and then hitting on h6. You have too many options.
Yeah, no, it's just too dangerous. Knight h2, knight g4, the computer says it's just a scary position. Nakamura, of course, doesn't castle into a good bishop c6, wants to prepare some counterplay here with knight to a4. But it's not that much. The bishop can even drop back sometimes, trying to keep things under control here. White goes h5, h6, rook h3. Interesting. But he likes his character of play against Magnus.
Yeah, I also believe that it shows that Hikaru is sharp. Yeah, he might have played this rook b8, but now, of course, instead of castling into the checkmating ideas, bishop c6, planning to go knight a4, creating his own counterplay. It's kind of also annoying from the white side when suddenly you feel like your opponent has direct ideas.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned the move bishop c1, but okay, I'm still gonna go knight a4, and I'm not threatening to take on beast. If I take on c3, you will always capture with the queen. Or you go d5 now.
Okay, Compi saying d5 now is strong, but that's very deep. So go bishop c1, d5, does it still work? Ed e6. It still works. Yep. 26, knight d4.
But now you have rook takes b2, yeah? It's a little bit more messy.
Continues.
h5 played.
h5, also normal, maybe hinting at h6. And if black plays h6, I would think you go rook h3. Then you have this clear target. The drawback of h5 is we can no longer meet castle with knight g5 and hg checkmating, but castling into it still looks so dangerous.
Yeah, now the question is then, what do we do? I mean, bishop a4, let's just check bishop a4. It's a very direct move because I'm forcing you to take on a4. Knight a4, queen a4. Can I try to create some confusion here?
I'm confused. Computer saying queen e4, which looks normally you want to keep queens on the board.
But then I go knight d5. I go knight d5. This is exactly what I had in mind. I understand I'm losing on the king side, but at least I'm posing you some questions on the queen side.
Yeah. If I didn't see the computer, I'd be a little scared here. Like c3 is in the air, b2 is hanging. Computer doesn't care and says rook b1, what is better, but it looks scary somewhat, no?
Exactly. I mean, in a rapid game, you carry the emotions. Yeah, you just don't want to let your opponent get any counterplay.
Yeah. Also would be sort of typical Hikaru move, very direct.
Okay, there is another argument that once you played h5, you are not threatening with knight g5 anymore. So maybe I can also castle.
Yeah.
But bishop a4, of course.
Bishop a4 played,
this is the way to go. Queen takes a4. No, Hikaru is thinking, yeah, because knight a4 is what exactly?
Knight a4 feels wrong somehow, no? Like now I'm not that scared yet. It doesn't look like you have any threats.
Yeah, the queen on c2 is a very nice stabilizing piece. Yeah, queen a4.
Takes with the queen. Now Magnus has to think. Queen e4, c1 is there. Actually, queen 4 is the computer's first choice, but this somehow looks... I'm not in love with exchanging queens, but it looks more stable, no? Because you're not getting hit by any c3, so whatever, nothing too bad can happen.
I mean, it's clear that you and me, we would definitely play rook c1 here over the board.
On a good day, on a good day.
I mean, just to try to stabilize everything, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, this queen e4 is too ambitious and giving counterplay. No, I don't like it. But hang on, after rook c1, there is knight b3.
Yeah.
Hitting the rook. Can I? Okay.
Some bishop d1. Okay, computer wants to go back, and then knight a5 another chance. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Bishop d1 already looks unnatural.
Yeah, then okay, I feel like I'm getting some freedom. So all right, okay, then maybe actually Magnus will come up with queen e4, but he needs to spend time to understand that all this counterplay is real or just a mirage.
Yeah. The good news is he might not have such a broad choice. No, you don't want to take after which this pawn is hanging. Yeah, and if rook c1, knight b3 is an issue, he might have to go for it. Queen c1 looks too passive as well, or queen b1. So what else is there?
No,
that's the problem with these lines. If you play them over the board with white, even if you have files where you know that, okay, computer says you're better and so on, it's very, very tricky to play and to not allow any black counterplay, which is why I was always a bit attracted to it from the black side, even though it's very hard to make work move by move. So I have mixed feelings.
Exactly, it's not a line that you can finalize, right? It will always lead to some position where probably if you dig too deep, then computer will still say that there are some questions. At the same time, players like Max Todlu, I think Max Todlu was also a typical player who loved this kind of stuff with the black pieces.
Ali Reza also played it in the candidates. And yeah, Carlsen goes rook c1, the quote-unquote human move. But after knight b3, he'll have to show us what he has in mind. Because if he's given a tempo, he can play knight d2, and then everything is nicely stable at least.
Yeah, it looks like knight b3 is the only question on the board.
Yeah, blitzed out as well. Rook d1, of course, repeats if black wants to. And yeah, maybe he'll play rook b1, but it's... yeah, rook b1 is what he does indeed. Because bishop d1 looked too subtle somehow.
Yeah, no, I mean, the bishop on e2 is kind of a very nice piece. Yeah, targeting the c4 pawn, you just don't want to move that.
So I guess black's going to castle into it. Some c5, is c5 there?
Yeah, the big question, you probably humanly would love to castle and then go c5, but we don't know exactly if there are any issues on the king side already or not.
Not obvious, no? Knight g5 we can take, and d4 is hanging, h6, g6, okay. It's maybe long-term issues, but we don't get checkmate quickly.
Yeah, white will also have to decide. Yeah, if white will eventually castle short, then okay, his rook is not joining the attack. But maybe after black has committed the bishop c6, bishop a4 plan, and he gave up the light squared bishop, it's not necessary for white to go for a direct attack. Yeah, there are other also factors in play.
Yeah, which this was a beautiful bishop, so it's also giving up a lot, having to exchange it for some counterplay here.
Queen a5 check on the board.
Queen a5 check, okay.
King f1.
King f1 out of the way, and c5. That's how he does it. Question if king f1 hurts white. Yeah, because he still has this idea to go rook h3, rook g3, king g1. Maybe he doesn't mind it.
Exactly. My feeling was that actually white would anyway love to play rook h3, king f1, but it was two moves. Yeah, now that queen a5 check was given, and probably white is also very happy that he can get it out of his system to always decide what to do.
Yeah, Magnus throws in h6, provoking g6, the typical Lila 0 strategy. And now he goes dc5. It looks like he has an edge. The c4 pawn is saying, no, if bishop takes, can we take?
Okay, bishop takes c5. Yeah, let's check this. Can you take on c4? But it feels like black should have something, but maybe not. You have queen c6.
King is also in trouble. Yeah, that's the problem. King of
and then the pawn on h6 is a monster pawn. That's it.
Stopping king g7. That's his point.
Oof.
And that's bad news, no? Like, because this looks like the normal line. Okay, probably have to castle.
You have to castle, but then you take on c5, and I can't. Yeah, but I'm also in this mating that I'm pawn done, and you have no weaknesses, only powerful pawns.
Even the end game with this pawn on h6 cramping the king is probably very unpleasant.
Wow.
Nakamura could be in trouble here. Queen a5 check was losing time, not winning time.
Yes. I mean, maybe Hikaru just forget about this simple d takes c5. It's very easy to forget, yeah, because if black would be castled already, then bishop takes c5 would always guarantee perfect compensation for the pawn.
Yeah.
But it's just the factor that black is somehow one tempo short.
Maybe he has to play like this. Then at least his bishop stops any checkmates for now. But it's also not a very nice position, no? Pawn down.
Yeah, no. Not at all. I mean, I don't know if b4 is a possibility, but maybe you can just, if b4 does not win on the spot, yeah, in that position.
Yeah,
then...
I thought of queen a6, worst case. But no, we can take on a3.
Wow,
Why?
you can take, I mean, take on c5 and queen d3 check, yeah? Wow.
Both sides have this check, yeah, on d3 and d6.
Yes.
That's the trick.
Yeah. So basically then instead of b4, one should not get too euphoric, just g3, king g2, and we are pawn up. We have the better position also.
b4 now a threat as well, so black has to do something awkward. Yeah, not over, but once again. Tough situation for Nakamura, which, yeah, we've seen before. But can he get out of this one as well? The opening is his weak spot, if we can speak of a weak spot at this level. Once the going gets tough, he does get going. Bishop takes c5, bishop takes c5. Oh, hang on, Magnus didn't take on c4. He took on c5 without thought.
Wow. But this is strange because now black can take with the queen.
Maybe he didn't like this. Yeah, now the queen takes, and rook h4 is his point. Still keeping an edge, but not picking up the pawn just yet.
Yeah, at least black got some tempo compared to the maybe even 10 piece or just a tempo. It's a big question. I mean that when you take bishop takes c4, then the queen was capturing, and the queen was also very useful on the fourth rank. Sometimes eyeing this f4 square, going for this queen f4, queen f6.
I guess he disliked this move, maybe.
And then after queen b3,
yeah,
bishop c5.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But here the point is that queen b5 check forces you to take and go knight d7. Otherwise, I'm trapping that bishop. Or you go to f8, but then you can't get out.
No, this looks very good for white, actually. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he rushed a little there. He's still better.
Yeah, okay. Now at least Hikaru can somehow probably coordinate his forces to set up
C8 castles. The knight can jump.
Some typical Hikaru kind of defense.
Yeah.
If we castle, what happens? Then just bishop takes c4 is very strong.
Looks like
it's very strong. Yeah, because rook fc8, I wanted to play for activity, but somehow computer doesn't believe in this activity.
Doesn't care about activity. Also, this pawn on h6 is such a monster, no? Like, the hand wants to play king g7. It's very disturbing if it's not allowed to.
Exactly. With pawns on h5, h6, actually, probably black would just easily hold this type of positions. Wow. Okay, but then it's tough. Yeah, then Hikaru has to calculate move pair, move lines, because just the systematic approach, which one would feel that, okay, it should be drawish, it's actually not drawish at all. It might be just lost.
According to the comp, he has to go rook c8. Cover this pawn. And then hope for the best. Castle next move.
But done to 3 minutes 20.
Oof.
Not an easy decision, because you just don't want to move that rook from b8 to c8, protecting this pawn. Yeah, you feel like this rook on b8 is wonderful, and you sacrifice the pawn, and then this will give you the compensation.
And yeah, he castles. Doesn't cover it indeed, and Magnus takes. No hesitation. Rook f8 is all on the board. We should mention here there's also this check apparently. Yeah, like, I'm not sure
yes, but then we go queen e2 and rook b4. Anyway, the same rook b4 applies.
The rook comes. Oh, this actually looks nicer for white. Even rook d1 with tempo here. Okay, let's see. how he
Yeah, I
does
mean,
it.
takes, it feels like, yeah, really, if not for this pawn on h6, it should be enough compensation, but, I mean, to hold the draw.
But he goes queen b5 check probably by now. Yeah, he's also figured this endgame. It's not much fun. So this on the board, queen e2. Takes.
Yeah, now rook b4 is so tempting. Yeah, just to kick this beautiful queen. Black is threatening knight d5. Yeah, if black gets knight d5, he gets harmony. Rook b4, queen d5, and then rook d1, another tempo. The queen has to leave. Of course, then the knight will jump to d5. Yeah, queen c6. And somewhere this simple knight h2, knight g4 plan might also appear.
Yeah. G5 also a bit tempting.
Yeah.
And why is the pawn up? He can also just do nothing. And he has his pawn on h6, which means there's never any back rank security. There's a constant worry of the queen ending here. It's probably just bad.
Yeah, it's probably bad. But on the other hand, if black finally, wow, queen a2, if that knight lands on d5, then there is always some hope.
Yeah, that's why he goes queen a2, keeping that square free.
Yeah, this is actually very smart because rook d1, knight d5 takes. We are pressing the b2 pawn.
But the back rank.
Yes. I saw that this is a big problem.
Oof, that's nasty.
And then also just g3, king g2, or whatever. Yeah, just solving your, I mean, improving your position.
You just can't solve this. No, f6 is always a mortal weakening. And bringing the king into the center also looks like suicide. Now, this pawn on h6 is such a game changer. Because, yeah, if the pawn was on h4 or h3, we would just think black is fine. No, like white has to think about how to keep it together. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about this pawn on h6. Yeah, now Hikaru realized, because otherwise he would be blitzing out knight d5. This takes, rook c1 is just so strong. After rook c1, maybe black has to try some king f8. Yeah, try to run with the king out from the back rank. It's crazy, I understand. It's suicidal, but
White is checked to it. Knight g5.
Yeah, knight g5 is because I don't want to take with the queen on b2, but if I take rook takes, then queen f3 probably just checkmates.
See, Nakamura in deep thought. Probably calculated this from far away, and now he also realizes rook c1. Magnus is also very focused, smelling his chance, of course. Has good air quality. Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm also improving my air quality actually step by step.
Congrats. Where you at? Fair?
No, not yet, but I'm on my way. Yeah, no, it's so tough. Yeah, if you can't play knight d5, then the whole harmony, everything what black was hoping for to compensate, it just does not exist. And if it does not exist, then nothing exists, basically.
Oh, so you just get crushed here. The queen is out of play. Knight g5, queen f3, or something bad will happen very, very quickly. He goes a5, trying to mix it, but that shouldn't change much. No, rook b5, and the same idea still apply.
Yes, I think rook b5 is important. Yeah, just to make sure, yeah, on the board.
And he goes a4. Oh, yeah, that looks like desperation. He freed the c4 square for the queen. Maybe trying to make it to some endgame.
I just want to play g3, king g2. I mean, I'm old school. And then get ready for knight g5. I understand maybe I can jump knight g5 earlier, but just want to get out of any kind of checks.
I'm wondering if we could just go back with the same idea. Say, okay, opponent's on a4. Congrats.
But what does it mean? That you think that if gc, then queen c4 is the idea?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's great, but I was curious. But apparently it's also hopeless here. Like,
yeah, then takes, and everything. Then rook d7.
Attack.
Knight b2, knight g5.
Yeah. Okay. It's funny how bad all these positions are. Yeah, computer says it's just lost. Let's like rook d4.
Yeah, rook d4, rook c7. I mean, just trap this knight.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't see rook. Yeah, I mean, you mean that maybe rook b4 even not allowing this.
Yeah, but it's also crushing. That's just nothing moves.
Yeah, Magnus needs to keep his nerves now in check. He has 6 minutes versus less than a minute for Hikaru. Because
good news for him.
One thing we know that if suddenly Hikaru is given another chance to get back to the game, no matter how little time he has, he will use it.
Yeah, you can never rely on him being low on time. Like if a chance shows up, chances are he'll spot it. Yeah, the good news for Magnus is he seems to have a broad choice. Knight g5, g3, rook b4. Every move keeps the advantage because the black problems are just long-term with his king being so weak and being a pawn down.
But is that nice, or it's exactly not what you hope for when you are playing quick chess? Yeah, it's much better to have just one good move which you see and play.
Yeah, fair enough. On the other hand, any line he calculates will probably work, so he just has to calculate one and go with it.
That's true. Yeah, now the big question, and he goes
Queen e4. He's happy with the endgame, but doesn't feel the need to play g3. Strange move.
Yeah, very strange.
What is he trying to stop? Knight d5, queen a4. That's his point, yeah?
Wow. Okay, he's getting greedy then.
Yeah, it's a bit artificial. And yeah, we get this endgame, queen c4 check. Yeah, maybe he judged correctly, even with the pawn on g2, that this is winning. Takes rook d7.
Well, I mean, it's clear that it's very promising, but can you really be sure that it's winning, yeah, over the board?
I think if he calculates further, I mean, once he understands after knight g5, black has to go rook f8 and then some rook c7. I would like having the pawn here, so I can go f4 after knight d3. But apparently it's still winning. How does it go? Here, yeah, similar line to what we had.
Yeah, and now knight d3.
Yeah. I don't know. This is winning. This is tough
already. Yeah, it's a study, yeah? Giving up the e5 pawn. Suddenly from being pawn up, we are pawn down, and it's so good.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. We just...
Okay.
It might even be Zugzwang, so yeah, it's beautiful.
No, he opted for rook d4.
Yeah.
And Hikaru protected with rook c8.
Still better, but not over yet.
Yeah, and the point was that now if Hikaru would have captured on b2, then his knight is immediately trapped. Then rook d4 is very useful.
Then you can do this again.
Yes.
Rook c8, and now he goes rook d7. If knight takes b2, knight g5 is still coming. Here we are. But we might get our little study, yeah? Knight g5, rook f8.
Yeah, well, with pawn on g3, we did not need that. Yeah, we could have protected with f4, as you mentioned.
Maybe we can still go rook d4 here if we want to.
Yeah.
Question is, what after rook c8? Let's see if Magnus solves that little riddle.
Well, he should. He is still with 3 minutes versus 30 seconds.
Should have just gone g3, then it's autopilot.
Yeah, now knight c4 is a big threat, so rook c7 or rook d4. Yeah, rook d4 played, rook c8 blitzed out. This is now second time the same position, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I mean, after we know what happened yesterday between Wesley and Hikaru, you have to pay attention to all these small details.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah, computer saying anything's winning, even f4, knight c4, king f2, and even this 4 versus 4 is hopeless.
Yeah, but these kind of things, to go for it is difficult. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yes, if you already go for it, then you might think like, wow, actually it's very dangerous for black. But from a distance, it might not be clear at all.
Yeah, you think you messed something up here to allow him to get to this 4 versus 4, even if he's still better. The Nakamura survival mission is being tested here today. He's been lost now for a long time, objectively. But as usual, he doesn't give anything easy. Keeps making the toughest moves. And Magnus still has to earn it.
Yeah, and if he has to go for this rook c7 study like position, give up the, that will not happen. And rook f4.
Didn't happen. Rook f4, which already looks. Knight d3, rook f7. This wins, yeah. So
that should win, yeah.
But he has rook c1, rook h1. Also not pretty. At least trying to get to this guy. He's giving checks instead.
Okay, but it makes a lot of sense what Magnus is doing, yeah, because knight c4 check runs into king d3, winning the knight.
Rook c3 check plate.
Now king d2. Can we go king d2?
Yeah, for sure. Then rook c7, yeah.
Then rook c7, and then with knight c4 check, you are trying to
survive.
But okay, then I'm gonna go rook b4 and knight c4 check. I'm gonna go king e2.
King e2 you have. And I don't have time to take anything. Rook c8 back.
Yeah, then okay, I can take on a4, give the e5 pawn, and say that if that position was good, then this position also should be good. But over the board, nothing is easy.
This is what we're talking about. Yeah, Computer says all these endgames are winning, but he might have to do this. King d2, rook c7 plate.
14 seconds for Hikaru.
Magnus also getting there. 47 seconds. And yeah, we're headed down that road.
Well, I mean, you can also give the e5 pawn if you want to take on a4, but I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, Black can try to get out, but he goes.
He does it. Yeah, he just wants to avoid the 4 versus 4. Keep one more factor in the position.
Yes, it's understandable, of course. And f3, knight e4, stopping knight g4. That's the question. Yeah, what to do after knight g4?
Knight f7, what's going on? Rook c2 check he wants?
Or rook f8?
But we have this.
Oof.
This he has to see.
Yeah, knight f7 on the board.
Yeah, he probably spotted that. Rook c2, king f3, knight f2, then we probably checkmate somewhere else, and knight g5.
Yeah. No, he just opted for rook b8, but knight's over then. Just f3, then the knight gets back to g5.
Or king d3, you can just play it.
Yes, no, this is now.
To king c4, not to allow any knight d1 check. King d4, yeah.
That's it.
C'est fini, knight g5, and white wins. The king runs out. And the king. Yeah, Nakamura resigned already. Here after king f4, let's say, I don't know, knight c3. Okay, 8 is checkmate, and you can't stop it for long. King f8, take care. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen wins the first game in this very sharp line. Congratulations to him. I think already rook b8, like he did a good job mixing it, but was an indicator things weren't going Hikaru's way. Maybe that the line was a bit of a spur of the moment decision. And after that, he already had to suffer. Then later, okay, this is what Compi said, but yeah, queen a5 also felt strange, no? Because it helps white attacking this pawn, securing his king. Probably had to try to fight with castles, and then c5.
Yeah, definitely. In retrospect, Hikaru is probably very angry with this queen a5 because that was the move how he lost the harmony, and he never really got a chance to correct that later on.
Yeah, and okay, here it might not have been over, but it was suffering. Maybe last chance was this not very natural move, rook c8, just trying to cling onto the pawn, but it was already very, very tough. And Magnus, okay, didn't make all the computer moves, but I think he still converted well. He kept the advantage all the time and then calculated at the right moment. Good start for the world champion.
Yeah, it was a very smooth performance. and the dream start, yeah, because now also Hikaru will be forced to take more and more risks. In general, already by picking this line, yeah, it meant that Hikaru is trying to disbalance things also with the black pieces. It indicates that he has some sharp lines probably in store with the white pieces, but Magnus is also so tricky, yeah, against e4. It's not a given that he will now play also the anti-marshal or marshal. He might just switch to the Berlin, and then Hikaru needs ideas everywhere.
Yeah, also, what sharp lines are there against the Berlin or the marshal? Let me know. Let me know. I would like to find out. Black is so solid everywhere nowadays. So yeah, Hikaru has his work cut out for him. Great start for the world champion. Game number 2 should start in a couple minutes. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're awaiting the second game between Hikaru Nakamura, now with the white pieces, and Magnus Carlsen. Magnus won the first game. And Peter, I feel bad that you're outdressing me again with a tie. So I went to get a tie during the break, but I have a lot of cables here in the way. I'm not sure I'll be able to tie it live on air. I'll do my very best.
Well, actually, you don't have any time at all because Hikaru has just started his game with the move Knight FC. So will we see another 80? I mean, knowing that he lost the first game, and if Magnus really gives him again a chance to play this reverse King's Indian type of positions, then I think it's a very justified choice by Hikaru. But Magnus might be very professional, play G6.
Oh, see, I can't do it seated.
Of course,
G6
okay, you are
is, of course, the main move.
handicapped.
I'm handicapped, but I'll keep trying. Don't let me distract you.
Yeah, okay, so basically I'm expecting Magnus to play G6. There is just no, on the other hand, it's Hikaru's territory, but G6 is played. Exactly, that's the way to go.
And Hikaru goes for a slow build-up with pawn to D3. There was some theory here, no? Like some E4 takes, bishop G4. Anish won a game, I think, against Shankland, but it wasn't very much either. And of course, white. Black after E4 can also choose to go knight G7, not play that endgame. I would expect Hikaru to play a move like knight BD2, just trying to keep pieces on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a tough decision if you don't know. But on the other hand, it's his opening from the black side, yeah, also. So he might be into details. And I recall there was a game, Artemiev against Hikaru Nakamura in 2021's Champions Chess Tour. And there he encountered some problem against Artemiev with the black pieces. So he might also know that this E4, D takes E4, D4, Queen D1, Rook D1 endgame is not as harmless as it might look, but C4 on the board.
C4 played.
But come on, here D takes C4 and then takes
It's
everything
also,
and E4.
Yeah, I looked at this. This is some other endgame that's supposed to be okay for black. Knight G5, F5. And yeah, I think black was fine. But there's some theory here. Like knight C3, I think you take to stop knight D5, some H6, G5. Some weird stuff. Once again, not forced. Black could play D4 or knight G7, but DC4, the principal move especially, when he's probably happy with the draw.
But on the other hand, yeah, maybe if you say that Magnus plays this line to be safe, then going for these adventures in the endgame with all these E4, knight G5, F5s, if he did not really recheck it, maybe he will just choose knight G7 and play chess instead.
Yeah. If in doubt, if he doesn't know, I think he relies on his chess playing, even if it means not simplifying. But no, takes everything and E4 is on the board.
Very principled. Okay, knight G5 has to be played by white. Yeah, this is the way how you can...
One F5, you're not posing any problems.
Yes, I mean, you need to disbalance things. And okay, this position with knight G5, F5, knight C3, the line that you showed, at least it looks like there is some intrigue.
Sure.
Knight C3 takes.
The point is, if you go H6, then knight D5 is annoying.
Yes.
You lose some time. So you should take. Now it's important to stop this knight jumping. So G5 is all very logical. And now white can try to break it, or Compy says Rook B1. It's a little messy. But it was fine for black, I think.
Yeah, if already Magnus was also ready after like 30 seconds, he was thinking, yeah, that do I remember? Because definitely Magnus also plays a lot of native with white. He encountered this D5, G6 system, so he should have plenty of knowledge.
At the top level, that's the main block, no, against this move order. Yes. So I'm sure he's looked at it for both colors plenty of times. I was actually curious, because here you also have the option to go E4 directly, which is another line. But okay, doesn't matter. Nakamura plays knight E1. He doesn't want any of this knight G5 action. But now black is just fine, I think. F5, knight F6.
Yeah, basically it signals that maybe Hikaru is not really familiar with all these details.
Yeah, but we're saying that in most games here, the opening opening details is not what he relies on. He hasn't needed them, but maybe today they could. Magnus laughing. Did he tell himself a joke? Here, this is the difference. Bishop e6 you have with a knight on e1, knight d5, long castles, and black, I think, is just fine.
Yeah, Hikaru goes knight a3, first of all, to make sure that his c4 pawn is not hanging and that
A6.
black won't be able to go long castle.
What's the knight doing here? This looks terrible.
Yeah, he needs to play f3, but yeah, the knight on is okay. You will just do whatever
F6.
you want.
This knight is very far from ever hitting this pawn, so doesn't look very scary.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, black can also be just simply better in this endgame.
Sure. Look
The
at the
bishop on
pieces.
g7, yeah, eyeing the b2 pawn. White's bishop is locked on g2, and whenever you play f3, even if black captures on f3, but black is not even necessarily capturing, black can go knight f6. But even if you take, then you still have trouble opening up that bishop.
And Magnus keeps laughing. He has to hide his face. Is he so amused by knight a3 or what's going on there?
Magnus is just happy after this first victory in the first game.
Yeah, and with this position, but maybe someone told him a joke. Yeah, he's played a6. Naturally enough, yeah, the opening has gone very wrong for Nakamura. Twice in a row, one has to say, with this first game. Okay, the line was interesting, but this rook b8 didn't go so well. And here, he's worse with white in a somewhat theoretical line from the get-go. But he's still Hikaru Nakamura. He will fight. Rook b1, preparing b4 maybe.
Yeah, b4, b5. It's now a question, yeah, that Magnus goes bishop e6.
Yeah, well, is this a big deal? Compy says it's all nonsense. This is what he says, ba, ba. The knight just stays on the rim. Yeah, black is just better. No, it's very understandable.
Looks very nice.
So maybe white has to play it super slow. b3, knight ac2. That's what the computer wants. But it's a bit sad.
Yeah, you remember we speculated about this, that the Reti worked in that Armageddon game, but repeating the Reti might not be the right strategy because both players will be ready for it. And Magnus shows that he's ready.
Yeah, f3 played now. Once again, knight f6 looks like the normal move with his knight so far away. Computer gives some fancy stuff, bishop d4 check, but I don't think that's happening. Why actually? e3, bishop a7? It's way too deep. fe, fe. Okay, no one plays like this, but yeah, he really likes black here. No, but Magnus plays knight f6.
Yes, of course. There is also no reason why you would not play like this.
Yeah. Now it's also easy to play a castle, put a rook on d8 or e8, and yeah. With this knight being so far away from the action, it's really nothing to ever be afraid of.
Yeah, basically there is only one scenario where white could hope for something strategically, but you can never really get to it. Like f takes e4, black takes, for example, knight takes e4, and bishop takes e4, fe4, you play b3, you trade the dark square bishops, and then you get a knight to e3. Yeah, this is the dream. Unfortunately, you need at least 5-6 extra tempis to get there.
Yeah, on the way you get hit too, like some knight
Exactly.
d4. Yeah.
So you can't play like this, but if you can't play like this, then actually there is no way you can ever really create chances for yourself. Maximum, you can just hold the position.
Even that, not gonna be easy. This might be a quick finals, no? Imagine Magnus wins that one, then he has white the next game, and it could all be over.
That could easily be. I mean, now seeing this position, it's... Okay, Hikaru has to fight for survival now. I mean, forget about winning this game. Just somehow defend this, make a draw, then hold your line with black, and then hope for everything for the very last game.
Yeah. And we've seen people make comebacks against Magnus from like 2-1 down, 1.5 half down. He does sometimes give chances, of course. He's an overwhelming favorite at this point. But for now, yeah, Hikaru has to make it out of this game. Taking his time. Obviously not thrilled. But knight a3, I can't get over it. It was such a strange move. I mean, even if you end up here.
But I feel like it was connected with knight e1. I mean, knight e1 was the mistake.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
because simply this bishop e6 bothered him already, so that's why he followed it up with knight a3. Otherwise, he would have never put the knight there.
But here there's bishop e6 as well, no? Like, I mean, just giving black more options. Anyway, we're here. b3 played. He understood that he has to be very cautious. Magnus would probably just castle, bring the rook here or here.
All right, so let's make a couple of moves. You castle, I play bishop b2. Let's just see if I can stabilize nicely. If you play thematic, yeah, rook a d8 or rook a8, whatever, knight a3 to c2. And I'm trying to get that position that I was mentioning before, that my strategy would be to isolate that e4 pawn.
Yeah, if I want to be solid, I can take here, of course. No, you take ef.
No, I have to take with the bishop now.
Bishop.
I have to take with the bishop. And hope for knight e4, which would be a big strategical mistake. I know for computer it does not matter, but humanly at least there is something to play for then, yes?
Yeah, no, I'll just play.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah. In this case, I don't believe in anything. I mean, okay, I have to trade, put the knight on d3 and try to activate my knights, but okay, it should be absolutely nothing.
Just equal, yeah? Like whatever. Yeah. Bishop c8 or knight d7, yeah. Castle put the king on f7, didn't castle. Bishop b2 played. Maybe feels the king's a little better here. He wants the rook not on f8, but on e8 or d8 anyway. Yeah, d8 played.
Yes, it also indicates that he's not planning to capture on f3 at all, yeah, because then the king on f7 looks a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, Nakamura will play knight ac2.
Ah, but actually it's not true, because after ef, knight f3, you always have this lovely knight e4 covering everything. So even then the e takes f3 ideas are still very much in play. Yeah, knight a3 to c2 has to be played.
Can we just trade everything, or is this a way to get in trouble? We might lose a pawn. I'm not sure how big a deal it is, but probably not necessary. Yeah?
I'm not even sure if I want to take the pawn, but because I have my f takes e4, yeah, I would have been very happy with f e4. More happy than winning this pawn. I mean, I just f takes e4, and if knight e4 I take on e4, and I just feel like, okay, humanly this is something that you might hope to achieve something. It might not be real because king comes to e5.
Also, this knight is dead now. I mean, I'll go g5 and c5, and I'm not sure.
No, probably
your
black
dreams will be fulfilled. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks nice, but in fact, yeah, this is also not working.
Anyway, knight ac2 on the board. Magnus has a broad choice now.
Probably we can conclude that white equalized. Yeah, so at this moment, white is not worse, but knowing the match situation, it does not really help.
Yeah, Magnus also didn't look like he was looking for an advantage. He just wants to be stable in.
Because that Hikaru opted for the rate, it actually signals for Magnus that Hikaru doesn't really have any big ideas in e4. Yeah, so this knight f3, d5, g3, g6 will be a blocker for the rest of the match for Hikaru. So there is just nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. ef3 played, yeah, he keeps playing it very solidly. And if knight f3, he wants horsey here. Well, the computer here has some hope. Maybe he can now get this construction you're dreaming of.
Exactly. No, of course, with one pair of knights exchanged.
And without this dead knight on e1.
Yes.
Yeah, this
I mean, also one could argue for king f2 instead of knight c2 also. Just bring the king first.
Yeah, this is the dream. Still says equal, actually, but yeah, here there's some danger.
Yes. Which means that after knight f3, you probably better go h6, just stay put like this. On the board, knight takes f3 played.
Before so tempting. Oh yeah, he will see, of course, that these exchanges might not favor him.
Yeah, it's a move pair move business because this knight fd4 is tricky for the fact that the c3 square is empty and black could fork the two rooks, but there is a knight takes e6 check fork. Yeah, that's the problem. Yep. Takes knight fd4 exactly works because of this fact that knight e6 check is a big threat.
But after h6, the black position is still rocky solid, I would say.
Yeah, it does feel like it's safe.
Can we just be extra primitive and allow everything? No, I blundered. Oh no.
I mean, there is bishop a3 check. Yeah.
Ah, sorry, I can't even go there. Okay, no, we don't do that.
No, but anyway, I mean, just you don't want to give any knight g5 checks.
Sure.
Then just showing for the audience, yeah, what happens. h6 on the board, yeah, correct.
Yep.
Nicely played. And okay, now already rook takes d1, rook d1, rook. No, then knight e5 check runs. Black runs into knight e5 check, and the pawn on g6 will be falling. So in fact, black doesn't have a clear immediate liquidating move, but he does not need it.
It's stable. You can just go rook h8 to already move. Also very unclear what white's next move is. Like,
yeah, even
this
something
comes
like,
to mind.
Then takes c6, immediately stability. Yeah.
And harmony.
Yes. And otherwise, you might even just play bishop to c8. I mean, just remove that bishop, and then already all these knight e4 ideas will also work. Rook h8. Yeah, black has many good moves improving his position. The real question is what white can do now, yeah, to use the momentum, because it feels like now is the momentum because black had to play a move like h6. But if this momentum just vanishes, then there is just no hope at all for white to get something.
Yeah. And white also had to make a small strategic concession. No, this pawn is weak. Like he doesn't have the perfect pawn structure. There's nothing dynamic. Only black can be better, it feels like.
Yeah, in long terms, if nothing happens, yeah, everybody makes their useful moves, then black will benefit.
Compy disagrees, as usual. He wants knight e1, knight d3, knight c5. Probably a smart plan, but knight cd4 played by Nakamura. Which looks normal, but we can just take. No, and if takes, bishop c8
Bishop
as
C8.
usual. Maybe you want some Zwischenschach? Knight e5 check?
Yes, definitely.
No, that could be trickier. King e7, there's some worries.
No, I mean also g6 is a you have to play king g8 probably. You have to play king g8. Then there is a lot to calculate. Yeah, takes because now b7, b7 and g6 are hanging, so you need some tactics to justify this.
Okay, so not as easy as we made it sound.
Yeah, a lot to calculate now. This is the momentum, what we have been talking about. Yeah, that white has to use it, and Hikaru uses it. Wow.
Yeah, now Magnus can't just make natural moves. He has to find his way. The way is there, but he's not going to be in love with like having to play moves like king g8. Oh yeah, this is the key move, using the pin.
Yes, this is very strong, but
knight f3, c6, and you're back.
But again, yeah, you have to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort, and the problem is that the position looks so simple and so easy before, yeah, that you are maybe psychologically not yet ready for all these developments and all these calculations.
Sure, yeah. And I also think he could have saved himself some trouble by castling instead of king f7. I mean, then you never get any of these checks. You didn't have to play h6 and so on.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he wanted to be too smart, yeah, with king f7.
Yeah. He's still fine, but now black has to make some only moves, which, of course, the computer's not impressed yet, but it's a difference. If you can make any move and you're fine, or you have to calculate a precise sequence.
Especially the one that feels wrong, yeah. I mean, giving white the chance to go knight e5 check, yeah, on the board.
Just take. Yeah, bishop d4 looks more harmless, no? Then you go knight g4 without having your king misplaced. Or
Exactly.
knight d7 even.
I mean, I assume that knowing the match situation, probably Hikaru has to go. Yeah, and there he goes.
Yeah. Gotta do it. King has to go out of this fork.
Yeah, and of course to g8, because then from g8 you can still run to h7. From e8 there is no real option moving anywhere.
Nowhere to run.
But he goes to e8. All
Goes
right.
to e8.
Okay, probably still the same
trick,
knight g4, yes. Yeah, and then he even prefers to have king on e8, yeah, because he will have more options deciding where he wants to place his king.
Something like this, and
yeah.
he's stable again.
Exactly.
Bishop d4. He has to spot his knight g4. Or he can actually take a knight g4 if he wants to be fancy.
But that allows some rook take g4, fg
Sure, if
knight.
it's needed,
Yeah, he goes knight g4, of course.
Yeah.
Professional move. Yeah, this is now also very unfortunate for Hikaru. Yeah, there was a glimmer of hope, yeah, that he will be able to disbalance Magnus, but finally this 95 check did not bring anything.
Would also be surprising if after this knight a3 b3 operation he got anything big, but yeah, he managed to ask Magnus to make some precise moves, and Magnus delivered.
Yeah, so sad, yeah, that you have to play knight f3 or knight c6. I mean, it leads to the same position. The fancy knight c6 does not change anything. Black takes on d4 and we get the same position. Bishop c8, and I just don't feel that white can hope for anything here.
White should try to equalize, actually, no? Like,
Yes.
it could still be a little worse.
I mean, okay, thanks to the tempis, he will make he will equalize, but not for more.
Also, once Magnus feels he's safe, he might start playing for a win, no? If he feels like there is still some hope. Sure, he's fine with the draw, but if it's a risk-free endgame, why not?
Of course, yeah, that's the dream scenario. You are leading and you can torture your opponent. Yeah, knight c6 played. Takes on d4.
d4. Takes bishop c8, blitzed out. Yeah, everything under control.
Yeah. And now it's kind of also a bit irritating for white, yeah, that you want to get rid of this e2 weakness, but you can't play the move e4, so you have to play some h3.
Now black can decide here. If he wants to take the bishop, put the knight here, put the knight here. 95 e4, he probably doesn't want.
Yeah, but it's kind of a pleasant choice, yeah? Very pleasant choice. There are options like knight e3, rook d3, and then take on g2 and go rook h7. And then you don't even move your king, you bring that rook like that. I mean, just rook h7 and rook hd7 or rook e7, depending on the situation. Also very nice. Very stylish.
Wondering if we should be concerned. Okay, the knight doesn't get there if we don't want to. Rook e7.
Yes.
Yeah, he does go 93, which is some thought.
Takes. Now I'm curious because, of course, there is no reason to play rook. I mean, it's not obligatory to play rook h7, but it's so nice. I think Magnus will do it.
I like the king coming here to not even let white dream of having an active knight. You're normally right. No, he goes C5, for
yeah.
something different, c5.
Okay, of course, it's a very natural move as well.
Yeah.
Which means that probably he did not want white to play b4 or c5. Yeah, keep that knight on d4 long terms. Okay, didn't look frightening, but yeah, everybody has his own approach here.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, king f2, rook d8, king e2. So Hikaru is trying to play b4. Yeah, he wants to disbalance the position a bit. Yeah, doesn't want to go d4.
Curious about this g4, which looks normal.
No,
Company
g4
says
then
black
rook
is
e8.
better.
Then, no, but then you can,
this is the way. Yeah?
Yes, yeah, you go. Actually, maybe just stop this b4 idea. Just play a5 because Hikaru indicated with his king f2, king e2 business that he doesn't want to play d4 at all. He's hoping for b4. So we just play a5 instead of f4. Just a5. And if a3, then okay, we will already trade everything. Yeah, then you do your f4 stuff. Even these moves are included. Yeah, okay, black is perfectly fine.
Let's see if we allow it. Okay. Now black has to be dynamic, yeah, because here he could be worse.
Yeah, in any case, whenever white goes b4, then it's better just to have those a pawns eliminated.
Yeah.
But probably Magnus is now calculating all these f4 lines, yeah, because it's very tempting to use the momentum and open up that bishop.
Yeah, here he could take, but he could also, yeah, f4 plate.
f4 plate. And gf also, there is this rook takes d3 option, yeah. Very solid one. If you just want to shut the game down. Because here, okay, Hikaru will start maybe to jump around with his knight.
Now this is bad, actually. Wow. So bad. That's surprising. That's rook h7 check.
Yeah, no, of course. No, just, okay, rook takes d3, keep it simple. You mentioned that Magnus wants to keep it simple. And in fact, it's a very tough spot now for Hikaru because gf, rook d3 basically forces this endgame, and then the bishop will sit on f5. The king doesn't have an empty square. This pawn on c5 and bishop on f5 basically just locks down everything.
Yeah, white can't.
And even white has to watch out. Yeah, it's a dangerous position. So in this regard, then maybe even g4 is kind of obligatory to keep the game going, not because of advantage, but just to keep it unclear.
Yeah, could also be worse if this bishop makes it here.
Well, then almost black is winning. Yeah, it's everything depends on that b4 break. That's where does it lead, move pen move. So g4, king f6, b4. That's how I would try to fight.
Was it smart to start with this so we can bring the king this way, maybe?
Well, it's super smart. But I wonder if with 2 minutes it's possible to be so smart.
Magnus pretty smart.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, Hikaru in a lot of pain now after f4. And he takes gf4, which lets rook takes the end. It's on the board.
Yeah, probably the best move, but not a pleasant one to make.
Yeah. I'm even not sure that could white maybe move with the king to e3 and then try to go, to have that king. But also there after knight d2, bishop c2, you get zugzwang. Yeah, it might be lost. Yeah, a3. Here you take. But I wanted to get a3, then bishop c2, and then knight d2, and we are just pegged forever.
Yeah, this is more than unpleasant. Probably just lost.
Yeah, probably just lost. So it's very dangerous. b4 played.
b4 directly. Black can take or play rook a3. Yeah, he went rook a3 directly.
So
check,
now,
forcing the king back.
so now black is actually better. Also rook a5 is an option, yeah, just... I mean, this knight e5, rook takes c5. I was not so sure. King d6, then king d6. I mean, I want to get closer to my b7 pawn so that my bishop is opened. Okay, probably it's fine.
White should hold, but he's fighting as well.
Yeah. But it was a very good decision by Hikaru not to take on d3, but go for this king f2. I mean, this b4 and all this counterplay. But maybe Magnus will just give perpetual check. Hang on. We are seeing a couple of checks. Rook a2 check, king e3, rook a3 check.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't feel like he needs to try to win this.
Yeah, because this...
King g3 is far away.
Yeah, that is far away. Yeah, it would be a logical repetition. They already gave a couple of checks. So Magnus is deciding, and Magnus continues.
No, he does continue.
Yeah, he continues.
King f6 he played.
Yeah, he makes sure that after knight e5, he has g5, disbalancing that knight on e5. Immediately the pawns are vulnerable.
But king f6 also strange in a sense that, yeah, it's not stable there. Yeah, knight d4 played, taking the f5 square, rook b6 check coming. He can take a pawn, but white gets played. Check.
Yeah, and then c6, and this is getting...
somewhere.
I mean, one doesn't have the feeling that black is a pawn up.
No.
Not
Black also shouldn't lose, but white is so active that, yeah.
Yeah, and the c pawn is much more dangerous than the a pawn.
Yeah, it's on the board. c6 on the board.
I mean, interesting that after bc you did not capture with the rook.
Also possible. And yeah, that's what he does actually. Rook c6. I was dreaming of this check. But yeah, this wins the pawn back.
Yeah, and then rook a6, rook c3, and then you can play your knight c6.
Finally.
And there is a triple fork threat on e5 on the board. Yeah.
Should be a draw, yeah, like black is too stable. The king is not coming.
And in fact, now Hikaru will probably give the perpetual. Magnus sidesteps out of this knight c6, knight e5 business, so encouraging the repetition with rook a7 check.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pause at 52 seconds.
Yeah, so we draw.
Well, it got quite intense. Yeah, it looked like it will be almost nothing. It looked like an empty position, but actually both players had to show some great skills here.
Yeah. Also shows how rich chess is. Yeah, even after the opening goes wrong, like there's still so many complications, subtleties, so much room to create problems. But it is a draw, which means Magnus Carlsen up 1.5-half. And if he wins the next game, then it's over and he wins the tournament. If it's a draw, we'll get a fourth game where Hikaru would have to win. Obviously, if Hikaru wins, then there's all to play for.
Exactly. And now we have a 10 minutes break. This is the third game, so the players have a little bit more time to adjust to the new situation. And in the meanwhile, we have some interesting fight between Yuanji against Fabiano Caruana. Yuanji has won the first game with the black pieces, so he's leading the match. On the other hand, Fabi is the winner of the winners bracket, so he can afford to lose the first match, and even then he will get a chance.
We should clarify, this is Division 2. There are 3 divisions being played. We've been following the first division 98% of the time. But yeah, Fabian Caruana, not an unknown chess player here in the second division. Is he in trouble here?
Well, at least white cannot lose. Yeah, that's always very important, especially when you are down to 8 seconds.
No, but he gets counterplay and he should hold.
Yeah, he should hold. And Fabi was the one who knocked out Yuanji earlier in the tournament. Actually, it happened yesterday. And then just like Hikaru, Yuanji fought his way back. and is fighting whoever wins Division 2 qualifies to the main event in the event between 3rd April to 7th April. So lot at stake, a part of the great prize fund as well.
What was his king f7 move? I don't understand anything. He allowed him to have 3 pawns?
Oof, this should be winning.
Why? His moves are coming too fast. This is winning, no? Like,
this should be winning, and then it will be 2-0.
Oh.
Yeah, just h6. You just push.
I had the same game once. Yeah, I recall it wasn't much fun. I had the knight.
Sotiris is mentioning that, yeah, no, I got the result wrong. The first game ended with a victory for Fabiano, so actually he is leading, which means that if now Yuanji wins, then he just equalizes the score. So all to play for.
Yuanji will win.
I kept an eye on that position in that's why I assumed that Yuanji has won it, but probably I missed the piece.
G5 Chelsea said he will win. He lost his fortress.
Wow, King f7 and then just knight h8, knight g6.
I know this because I had the same fortress once against Jörg Hickel. I managed to survive.
But knight h7, knight h8, f7, and knight f7, king f6, knight h8, g6
have enough
wins.
time. Because here was a draw. Knight f8 and king f7, and you can sit. But he allowed this, and he's losing.
Wow. No, of course, playing on seconds, this
F8
is just...
and king f6.
It's so tough. That was also the reason why Yuanji missed it before. Fabi just cannot believe.
Yeah, tough break for Corona. Yeah, a lot of strange things happened here. The strangest I thought was here. Why doesn't he play b2? He wants to stop king g6.
Yeah, he was afraid of king g6.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem.
Like
you have a few seconds on the clock. You don't know how to have.
Yeah, you don't have time to count here. This is this typical thing.
And just king e7. Yes.
You stalemate him.
And you win.
Drop.
No, not you don't win, but you can't lose.
Yeah, but okay, that makes sense. If they are playing on reflexes, you can't calculate this.
Yeah, that's.
But king f7, just gave him extra pawn.
If you have 10 seconds bonus, then you can. But with 3 seconds, it's just so messy.
Yeah, it's a guessing game. Here, it was winning after king e6 and f7, but after g5 was briefly a draw.
But hang on, so how is this fortress? Because
do this and this, and you chill.
Yes, exactly. You first go king f7 and then knight g6 and knight h8, and you just sit forever.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had.
And you held it or you missed it?
No, I held it, but I was given a chance. It was lost earlier. Like it's probably similar to here.
Then you have very positive memories.
It's one of my favorite endgames. Knight versus 3 pawns.
Yeah, I can understand.
All right, so the fight in Division 2 ongoing, but we're awaiting the return of the big finale. Nakamura down 0.5 to 1.5 against the world champion Magnus Carlsen. Can he make a comeback? He has the black pieces next. Stay tuned. See you in a few minutes.
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Hi there, it's me, John Chess, inventor of chess. And are you sick of sucking at chess? Well, lucky for you, I have also invented Aimchess. Look at this chess puzzle. Did you solve it? Of course not, that's because you're not using Aimchess. Aimchess is a digital chess trainer that helps you improve by creating unique lessons based on your recent games. Just link your chess.com or VChess account and feel that brain wrinkle. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have blundered your queen just there. Now I know! Thanks, Aimchess! Now all that's left to figure out is how that funny horse moves. They even got acquired by that one chess player other than Hikaru, so you know it's good. Hi, it's me, that guy I just mentioned, and I am the best chess man in the world. But thanks to Aimchess, I also have a girlfriend now as well. This could be you! Personalized training, game reports and analysis disease, study plans, thick, luscious hair, intuition builder, all this and more available on Aimchess.
Hello?
Courtney, did you know that Aimchess users improve their ratings 43% faster than average?
What?
So what are you waiting for? Join Aimchess today. Links will be somewhere, probably. I don't know, I just made the video. Aimchess. Sign up now and get 50k silver and 2 free months off your VPN. Now that's what I call a queen's gambit. That's so fucking dumb. Aimchess, for when you aim to chess. That's their slogan. It's what they say. Ready, aim, chess. That's another. Look, just sign up for Aimchess, okay? Just, come on, literally, why not? Alright, just stop being a dick for like 5 seconds and just go, alright? Jesus Christ.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses.
Welcome everybody. My name is Jan Pomnishi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judith Bolgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
This whole concept of just bulldozing the Black King, jumping in there with the Queen, and making sure the Rook comes in with a ladder mate is everything this chapter is about.
Everything this chapter is about.
The point is, I don't want you to get a move that's not in the course and go, I don't know what to do!
I don't know what to do!
92% of games get to this position. From this position, white is winning about 60-70% of the time. And I think if you learn these lines, that very easily could be 75% or 80% for you.
It doesn't look like much, but neither would a Sicilian defense to the untrained eye. This is a performance enhancer. You don't see it? How about now? Manage your air quality, sharpen your performance, change the game with air.
Welcome back, everybody. Game number 3 is beginning. Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces, up 1.5, and 1 e4. To my mind, is an indicator he doesn't mind a quick draw. We might see the Berlin draw. Not meaning e4 is a drawish move, but I would think he chooses in this circumstance because he's trying to be solid. What do you think, Peter?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, seeing that Hikaru came up with this Reti. I mean, he came armed with the Reti, and Magnus did not encounter any problems after going for this smart d5 g6 setup. He's not under any pressure, yeah. So it might be a very logical strategy from Magnus's point. Now the big question: will Hikaru maybe feel like I have nothing with the white pieces? Let me also try to gamble already with the black side.
He might have to, because also if this is a quick draw, Magnus has a triple match point. No, he can draw the next game, or he could win the Armageddon, or he could win the next match if he somehow loses the next game and the Armageddon. And yeah, Hikaru goes c5, saying no Berlin draw. I gotta try something. Which
exactly
is the right choice.
This is the right choice, and we are very happy about this choice. We might be seeing some Sicilian, but which Sicilian exactly is Hikaru playing?
E6 is usually the move people play when they're in a must-win situation to not allow d6, bishop b5 check, or knight c6, whatever, knight c3, bishop b5.
Exactly, but how much experience? Yeah, because and Hikaru goes d6, because I remember that Hikaru was playing the knight off with the black pieces, but sure. I don't recall him ever playing the thousands.
Good point. So let's see if Magnus goes for an open Sicilian, or if he's going to go bishop b5 check. Also, he has this line with d4 takes an f3, which he used, I think, against Kayakin in a must-draw situation. So he has some choices here.
Also, the g3 Najdorf is a very solid line. He has done it all as well against Jana. I remember in Airthings Masters. Yeah, last year in the Airthings Masters. But bishop b5 is the...
He gives a check. Knight c6.
Wow. Okay.
Combative move. Doesn't have the best reputation. Knight d7 or bishop d7. Much more common. But it's not about equalizing. It's about creating a fight. Carlsen just castles. Doesn't want any of this early takes. Funky business.
Yeah, just stick to the normal regime. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice for white. Rook e1.
Yeah. On the board. There are these strange lines. No, this is go knight f6, c3, a6, bishop f1, bishop g4.
Bishop g4, yeah.
Takes, and now you take and go e5, d5, knight d4, or you take here. Some weird stuff. Was better for white, but at least confusing positions, if I recall.
Wow, so you are an expert not only in e4, e5, Jan, yeah? Revealing.
I know the first 6 moves sometimes. Okay. Don't make me play these positions.
Yeah, because that was a big debate. I remember that there were a couple of players who non-stop played this knight c6 system, or d6 knight c6 or in the Rossoni or bishop b5 d6, because actually this line you can reach from both move orders. Covered, by the way, in Gajewski's Chessable course.
Huh? I think Magnus even had a game here. I'm not sure, but this looks very familiar, maybe even from his games. Something like this.
I remember, like in the old times, Moiseyenko was the player who played it with the black pieces for quite some years. But Magnus just does not want any of it. He goes h3, making sure that bishop g4 won't be played.
Rook g8. Let's go. Rook g8, g5.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if good. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, okay. You remember Topalov played some g5 against Magnus as well. It was a knight bd7 line.
Yeah.
Slightly different.
I'm not sure it's Hikaru's style.
I mean, how crazy is g5?
Not too crazy either. If it takes rook g8, we're in business.
Yeah, then we are in business. But of course, this is
why don't you do something in the center, d4 or something? But yeah, a6 played. Now Hikaru doesn't want to go too crazy. Bishop f1. Next chance for g5.
Next chance for rook g8.
Yeah.
But we might be seeing some e5 or something more traditional.
Some normal move, e5, e6. Knight e5 is also a normal way to play these positions, but hard to create winning chances.
Yeah, also after e5, then we get these c3, d4 positions, very nice, comfortable Spanish awaits us then. But yeah, the bishop is stuck on d7. That's why if black just...
And g5 on the board. Here we go.
Here we go.
I was surprised Magnus plays h3 because it gives all these crazy opportunities. Well,
and I think Hikaru is now very happy. I mean, let's go. This is the way. This is the way. Good or bad, you have to try.
Nothing to lose. This could get exciting, no? D4, G4. What's going on?
Yeah, probably D5. I think that D5 is the thematic move in these positions. And then you take on C6. Make sure that you eliminate that knight from C6, but the knight from F6 will start jumping knight D7, E6, bishop G7, queen E7, long castles, whatever. I mean, this is Hikaru's element.
Yeah, he got a mess. I'm not sure if Magnus regrets his H3 move here because he was trying to avoid complications. No, he didn't want this bishop G4 line, but he got an even messier position.
Yeah, this is not. I mean, I believe that White has to play this D4, D5 business because if, for example, just to show D4, G4, and if we play H take G4, bishop G4, then things get very much out of control.
Yeah, this is scary already.
Yeah, then all these spins, Rook G8 is coming. Yeah, D4 played.
D4, he can't waste time, not wait for G4.
And now after G4, D5.
G4 on the board.
Yeah, both players spend more or less the same amount of time. 3.5 minutes. Yeah, D5. This has to be played, and I mean, let's just make a couple of moves, or you want to wait?
No, we can make some moves.
Takes queen F3, knight D7. Yeah, I would love to go knight D7 immediately. And after knight C3, okay, something like E6, and then knight E5, and I don't know. I recall something like in one of these online events in 2020, we had seen something like this, and then White was going for knight D5, and you can leave the knight there. Black is, of course, not capturing. Yeah, D5 on the board. We might be seeing these directions.
Here we go. Does Black have time? No, this is asking too much. The knight doesn't have a good square. Knight B8, you get crushed in the middle.
I mean, basically, the Lindor SAB was the tournament when I debuted as a commentator, and I somehow have the feeling that in one of those very early tournaments, I recall something like this happen. But it might be I might be just making things up.
Doubt it. I don't recall that. Both very focused. Hikaru has not captured here immediately, but he does now.
Yeah, he has to.
DC forced, of course, as bishop takes, queen F3. And here we are. Now Black maybe is a choice. Rook G8, bishop G7. What do you do?
Yeah, Rook G8 played. Yeah, knight C3. But anyway, you will have to move that knight from F6. Because White anyway goes bishop F4, Rook A D1. Yeah, you feel like you have to get ready to block this E5 square somehow.
Yeah, also knight D5 is coming. Yeah, like
it might also not be good for Black. Yeah, it might be entertaining, it might be very interesting, but it might just be bad. The king on E8 is the target.
Gotta take some risks. Also, maybe Rook G8 wasn't perfect, because once the queen comes here, it could hit this pawn.
Yeah, I mean, there is anyway no pressure against the G2 pawn, yeah? So somehow making sure that you develop the pieces faster and try to get long castle in, but maybe it was anyway not possible. Looking promising.
Let's see what Hikaru comes up with. E6 to stop knight D5. It doesn't really stop knight D5 to begin with.
Doesn't, yeah. And then you just keep on going with bishop F4 and so on. I mean, Rook G6 would make, but Rook G6, bishop F4, yeah, nothing happens. No, I meant after E6, knight D5. Yes, E6, knight D5, Rook G6, and you just leave the knight on D5. Keep on
dreaming of bishop G5, but yeah, no need, yeah, bishop, any move. And he played Rook G6 directly.
Yeah, so what does it mean? That after knight D5, he wants to improve his position in which way? Just like this, yeah. I was thinking that is there anytime an idea to go bishop g7 after this knight d7, and then, for example, after knight f4, just to leave the rook on g6 to try to sacrifice the rook for some positional compensation? But probably no, not here, knight f4. You play, for example, c3 instead of knight f4 after knight d7, and then black plays bishop g7 and white plays knight f4 then. This is the problem. Otherwise, it would be nice to develop the bishop, but now I'm forced to sacrifice the exchange, basically, and it's probably just nothing. This is unfortunate. Then you can't really, because it would be nice, rook g6 and bishop g7 and get out like this, but it might not work.
Carlsen taking his time here. He also doesn't need 95. This plan you mentioned also very natural. Should have 4 rook 81.
Yeah, looking promising. Yeah, very important moment. Yeah, Magnus, after all, he should be now also be very happy. Yeah, that in a sense that if this game would have ended in a quick draw, he would have been faced with the black pieces and forced to be fighting. Yeah, now he gets a chance to fight with the white pieces. Yeah, and if he wins this game, then it's match over.
Yeah.
Knight d5 played.
And even if he loses this game, not too much has happened. Yeah, I mean, then they might make a quick draw. We get an Armageddon. So, of course, Magnus, with all the chances to emerge as the overall winner. But it's nice to see Hikaru is trying to mix it, yeah, with this Sicilian, with g5, really fighting.
Absolutely.
Because he's not afraid of fighting. No? He just takes strategic decisions when he feels like a draw benefits him. Feels he's a favorite in the Armageddon, he'll go for that. But he's just trying to maximize his chances. And e5 played.
Wow. I mean, very creative, because this move did not cross my mind at all. But now that it's on the board, and knowing that anyway many problems were coming, actually it looks like a smart move. Strategically, you give up the d5 square, but on the other hand, you're also fighting for it.
Yeah, now you could take without structural damage with the bishop. Maybe bishop takes and some bishop h6 there. Okay, bishop d3. There are some good scenarios strategically. This bishop h6 directly.
Also, of course, bad scenarios as well. Yeah, Magnus
b4,
goes b4.
Magnus understands he has to play dynamically, keep up the pressure. It's probably a very good move.
Yeah, it was also the first line of computer. Yeah, but
I noticed.
I felt like I don't want to mention only first moves, so
gotta throw in the second move every now and then to sound
no, I
creative.
don't see the second. It's not on my screen. The second, I only see the first.
Sorry.
Yeah. So,
yeah, this would be bad news. So black can't take the pawn.
Yeah, black has to take cb, but then knight b4 hits the bishop on c6. The monster bishop will be hit. And if you go then bishop c4 or whatever, I mean, okay, this is looking very promising.
So rook b1, the king is a little lonely. Yes, cb played. It's also rook b1 directly.
It's a bit fancy. I mean, the knight b4 looks so good, yeah? There is no need hitting that bishop.
This, do you take? You don't have to, of course.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there are so many options. Yeah, also just pushing c4 and then rook b1 and just squeeze the position is...
No, it looks pleasant. Now that this king has no safety anywhere. Becoming very tough. And bishop d7 played, keeping the bishop alive.
Yeah, now it's the question. I'm curious about Magnus's next move. That will he just simply play c4 and then rook b1 and say that, you know what, I have everything perfectly under control.
So many arrows to draw. Yeah, it looks pleasant.
Yeah.
Black doesn't have any direct attacking chances here. No, like, of course, here's the half-open file, but there are no no obvious ways to put threats here.
Exactly. The bishop on f1 basically protects everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just c4 is very strong. One could argue that, okay, what's the problem? You can also start with rook b1 probably, but I mean, the c4 is maybe more systematic. Yeah, on the board.
c4 plate. He is in his element.
Yeah, this b4 move, this move 14 b4 was very strong. Because we really felt like after this knight d5 e5 move, if black gets one extra move, then somehow black might be creating contra chances, but b4 hit him exactly in time.
Queen c8, targeting h3, but he will spot that. It's not the most subtle attack.
Yeah, the only question, king h1 or king h2? Yeah, this is the only
I'd always
question.
go to h1. I don't want any checks here ever. But might not make a big difference.
No, because with king h2, you are also supporting the h3 pawn, yeah? So just in case the bishop from f1 could move at some point. Of course, we don't want to move that anyway, but I mean, I see benefits for both moves.
You were right. King h2 plate. h6. See, I don't like king here.
Okay, then go knight d5. Trade that knight. Yeah, if you are afraid of this monster knight, just go knight d5.
That move I like. Also, if knight takes e5, ed, my bishop has some scope.
You saw ed. I would have captured with cd with big happiness, to be honest.
Oh, also good.
But ed is probably, yeah, maybe even stronger. But
we allow some more messier stuff.
Yeah.
Probably it's all good for white with the king on the 8.
So like I'm playing like an old man. C takes d5. Nothing can happen to me. Trade the rook c1, enter on the c7 square, and say thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's
Rook b1 plate. He's not into this 95 business. But of course, still keeping control. 95 could still come.
Yeah, the bishop takes e1, then rook e takes c1, beautiful. Then both rooks are ready immediately for action. And if those who are always wondering that why these top guys are playing the Berlins, the Marshalls, what e4, e5s, and so on, I think this is a very good illustration that yes, if you get out of your comfort zone, yeah, and you are trying to mix things up due to the result because you're under pressure, then things can backfire very easily.
Yeah,
extra support, yeah?
Yeah, guest commentator.
Nice.
To be honest, king of 8.
Targeting the d5 square, yeah? Also highlighting the d5 weakness. Yeah, just knight d5. I think that there is no reason for white to lose any more tempi. Or tempo. Rook b1 was useful, but okay, just knight d5. Trade that knight, force the trade, and then put black under pressure on the c file.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
And also we are not risking anything, so it just suits us.
We like that.
At least Hikaru got his king away, yeah, from the e5, but where is it really running? But Magnus taking his time, yeah, knight d5 finally played. There is also knight b6, yeah, so black can't even ignore this knight on d5, he will have to take. ED or CD?
It's a big question, yeah? Pros and cons for either. ED opens the bishop. CD opens the c file. And he's gone for ED.
And he captured first on h6. Okay, it slightly surprises me, but of course, as you said, yeah, it's perfectly. I mean, it's very strong as well. He wants to get rook b16, yeah, that's why he included this rook b1. Rook b6 as well is a big threat. And just combine then queen gets to e3, then c4, c5 break hanging in the air, f4 break, rook doubling on the b1, hitting the b7 pawn. Yeah. Yeah, probably this ed5 was even stronger.
Tough position to play, also to keep everything under control with so many breaks.
Yeah, if that rook from a8 could jump to c5, that would be brilliant. Then it would be a fight.
To f4. There he goes, b5. Trying to, yeah, not allowed to be squeezed here with rook b6, queen to b6. What does white do? Rook ec1?
Yeah, I think if you don't want any fancy business, you just go rook ec1.
Then you also have queen e3 and c5 maybe as an option. Yeah, still very pleasant. You could take, but
yeah, but
I
we
guess
don't want.
then we wake up this rook here. Why?
Exactly. I mean, rook ec1 is just so nice. Okay, probably black will take bc, rook c4, and then queen d8, then put bishop on b5, try to go queen h4. I mean, somehow to. And then queen d8. Ah, but rook b7. In this case, I'm not getting bishop b5.
Too active. Yeah.
Yes. But okay, then after rook ec1, how do I defend? I don't see a good move. Because after queen d8, you will do your business, yeah, with this queen is c5, and it's strategically horrible.
It's just a tough spot. The king is just too weak.
But okay, that position at least maybe black can try to defend. Yeah, so rook ec1, queen d8. I'm ready to give again the b5 pawn. By the way, I'm not even giving because a2 is hanging as well. And after queen e3, I just ignore this. I go king g7, c5, and I go dc5. And try to cover the d6 square.
If it takes,
then queen f6.
Thank
you very much. Yes. Suddenly I'm back.
Yeah, white should be better, but they're still playing the position.
Yes, yes. Now I understand why Magnus is. Okay, he doesn't mind any of these scenarios, but yeah, he goes.
Oh, he did take. Whoa. Just played simple. Maybe also doesn't mind a draw, but it's still a bit surprising he would wake up this rook.
It's a bit surprising because I mean, after rook e1, he was not risking anything.
Yeah, and now he's not even better. Yeah, like.
Wow, but if Hikaru gets a draw like this, then he will really get some confidence that wow, Magnus is showing some sign of weakness, that he did not finish me off, and I got another chance with the white pieces.
He's thinking this looks to be the only move.
Yeah, takes, and it's very nice because then king g7, rook g6, rook f6, you can just hide there with your king.
Yeah, it's on the board, rook a2 on the board, rook b1. Now black should be just fine, no?
Absolutely fine. I mean, even some scenarios where black can, for example, queen, if we trade the queens, we get to a rook ending, then black can actually try to play that.
Yeah, there's potential with some weaknesses. No, surprising choice by Magnus.
Very strange choice.
So you have to try to bring this rook.
But okay, always I'm gonna meet it with rook g6, and you never want to take on g6.
Yeah.
Wow. What a turn of events. Okay, this is great news for Hikaru and his fans, because we might be getting, and for us, we are getting an incredible match then. Game 4.
Rook b8 played. What's the point after queen c5? Ah, then this works. Ah, okay, that's it, yeah.
And then checkmate.
Here, the rook cannot jump over the queen.
But black can go queen c2, right? Or queen c4. I don't know.
No, you defend with queen g6.
Queen g6. Yeah, maybe Magnus has then missed this one. He assumed that he has this very direct, but also queen c4. Yeah, it's and then queen e2.
He missed a bunch of defenses here. But queen c2 on the board. Okay, he has to go for activity now. Still messy. Compy says zeros, of course, but
yeah, now Hikaru will win his element. Yes. I mean, this is this King's Indian structure, this d6 e5 pawns against the d5 pawn. This is so much in Hikaru's blood. Rook 1 b7. Also in the Najdovs, he was always going for this type of structures.
g6 plate.
And now white, yeah, probably if white tries to double on the 7th rank, then black will defend with queen f6. Yes, exactly. And then white might be in trouble.
It's good and badly. Yeah, rook b4 plate, Magnus is alert. Now with queen f6 we win. Yeah, we have rook g8.
Rook g8, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Takes, and it's pin.
Yeah, rook b4, very precise. And Magnus has to be precise. He only has 1.5 minutes left.
Yeah, he was enjoying.
Yeah, he was enjoying too much his position.
Yeah, now he has a worse structure, so any rook and can could be really, really bad news. He has to be very accurate.
And now the big question that how does black defend against rook g4, rook h5 or queen h5, or what are the options?
Rook h5 looks smart.
Yeah, rook h5, rook g4, rook g5. And if rook bb4, then h5 comes already. Yeah? Yes, h5 comes. Takes. But okay, now white is also perfectly safe. Yeah, rook b6, and then you can trade the queens and hit the d6 pawn. Yeah, okay, so Magnus has things under control, not risking anything. Rook b7 to b4, very precise. And there is the other option of trying queen h5, rook g4 check, rook g6, but it's very, very strange. Tough call for Hikaru. And he goes for it. Queen h5 played.
And rook g4, rook g6 somehow holds. Yeah.
Rook g4, rook g6. Maybe keeps a little bit more life in the position.
7 rook g4 would be bad. So maybe the other rook comes.
Yeah, but you don't really have a threat. Yeah, so
maybe I can make a draw, just rook b6.
Ah, yes. Probably. But okay, we take on g4, I take on f2 and try to play a la Magnus.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
I mean, to do some f6, king g6, king g5, rook d2 behind, but of course you are fine. Yeah. But Hikaru makes Magnus sweat. Yeah, queen h5 down to 50 seconds, less than 50 already. And Magnus just takes. Okay.
Wow, he just wants the endgame. Okay, he can still target the pawn. He wants to give a check and then go rook b6.
Yes, probably like this. But okay, giving up the f2 pawn, yeah, rook g4 check played. King f6. Rook b6 is forced.
King e7 check, so Nakamura should take. Okay, it's equal here.
It's equal. Yeah. But I mean, okay, there is some little intrigue.
I can just give checks though.
And the rook on h5 is still a bit artificial.
Yeah. Hikaru wants to play, has to bring the king to f5. But there are some... Okay, g4 is not a legal move, fortunately.
Yeah, and then hope for rook g5, yeah, that you trade the rooks, rook f7. Rook
Okay, it
h6.
still continues a bit, yeah.
Yeah, because rook g6 is a big threat now. Yeah, king f5 on the board, Hikaru goes for it.
Played. Okay.
And
Still have
Magnus
some intrigue.
down to 10 seconds. This is sharp. Razor sharp, d6 played. D6 played, what does it mean? So rook g5, for example, then, okay, takes rook h7 or... I mean, black is not...
It could be better. No, rook g5 is very strong. Yeah.
It's very dangerous because you have this e4, king f4, and yeah, on the board, Magnus might get into trouble.
It should be a draw, of course. Even if you lost the d-pawn, I would guess it's a draw, but not much fun.
Well, I mean, with this structure, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Now he can go h4, fix it.
Fix it, yeah. The king can never reach king e4, rook d4, and then the king goes back to e6, collects that pawn.
It's very dangerous. Even Compi is starting to say black is much better now. Hikaru's smiling. Yeah, we get this.
Yeah, we got this. Wow, of course Hikaru is smiling because he has a very serious chance of bouncing back. Wow.
I look more like the smile, oh no, I came so close, but still nothing. That's how a smile looks like. Rook g4, does he have rook d4? He has rook d4, yeah?
Rook d4, this is the big...
Ah, and he just spotted it. He just spotted it. You could see on his face. Rook d4 wins. And yeah, he spotted it. And now his expression changed. This looks winning, no? It's 3 versus 2, but with the g-pawn fixed.
If this is not winning, then nothing, yeah.
Wow. Hikaru Nakamura with the winning position after Magnus Carlsen. Maybe played too cautiously, yeah, from this very good position earlier.
Well, it was very strange. I mean, Magnus made some crazy decisions. And Magnus down to 13 seconds.
Nice to try to survive this, but with this time, it looks highly unlikely. Also with this position, obviously.
Yeah, he needs to keep the rook on h6, eyeing the f6 pawn. Yeah, Hikaru goes rook f4. The rook now protects both f6 and h4 pawns, but still it won't be so easy. I mean, he will have to start pushing his pawns at some point.
Yeah.
The position does not win by itself. But now Hikaru is just going up and down. He will have to watch out not to run into some three-fold rapidly because computer stops immediately.
He needs a plan. Magnus so far waiting. He can keep his rook here, but of course the pawns come at some point.
There you go. The pawns are advancing. There is no more. And now you give a check and then king g5. He played king g5 first, but basically I thought like giving a check and then king g5 was the easier.
Yeah, this little trip isn't helping. Still needs to show the way to make progress. P4 apparently was a mistake.
I mean, hang on, because now rook h6 will cut his king. Rook h6 will cut his king, and if he marches to g7, then rook e6 comes. Oh my God! What a mistake by Hikaru. He pushed. Yeah. He put his king on e7. Now rook h6.
Played
on the board, and now you just wait.
And rook e6, yeah.
Rook e6 would be very natural.
Yeah. Oof! Magnus with a chance again.
With a big chance now.
d2, he loves rook g3, but that is a draw. So Hikaru has to go back.
But
the computer sometimes it jumps here, sometimes it jumps here if it spots something.
Exactly, a computer says that somehow this king on e3 is misplaced, but this is so difficult to understand.
Yeah, here king f7. And if rook h6, then rook c2. That's his big point.
And king f3, then what?
King f3, e4, and now he's in time.
Wow.
Anyway, none of this happened, but we get this position, and Magnus seems to have figured out he can wait passively here. Rook e6. Why is this a draw?
Still, it looks so bad. It looks lost.
f4, rook f2 is coming.
It looks lost.
But apparently, white can just wait. Black can't improve.
Yeah, because the problem is that also you can never push the e-pawn, and if the rook moves from f2, then king f1 comes back.
Oh, but he went rook a6. He allows the rook out, and now it's lost again. He had to play rook e4 to bind the rook to f2.
Yeah, now he will have to wait.
Stopping rook e6. But now it's lost.
Yeah, because the rook moves and king f1 check, king e2, rook g1, king f3, and then rook f1 check. This is how he just wins. Yeah, that's the problem. When you have few seconds on the clock, you can't understand these kind of things. Yeah, then it's just a check. And king e2, rook g1, I was assuming. It's not. This is wrong also. Wow, this is then super tough. But Magnus goes for rook b1 defense. No, he goes passive, then it's finished. He wanted to stop this rook a1 check, but like this is now hopeless.
Even some f3, king f4.
Yeah, oh, nice. No, these rook endgames are brutally tough.
Not over yet. King g1. He can still dream of getting this construction. But the black king enters it.
Well, he can also just bring his rook out first, yeah? I mean, just rook d2 or rook c2, whatever, and then the king marches to e2.
So complicated, even for the best players in the world. But yeah, f3, Hikaru calculated. Gf, king f4, he wants.
Well, just
he wants to take, just take it. Good enough.
The king is cut. Yeah, that's it.
And it's over.
Wow, what a match.
Oof.
It's gonna be. And what a day it's gonna be.
That means we're in for some more action. Carlsen stumbles with the white pieces here, allowing Nakamura back in the match. 1.5, 1.5. Nakamura white with in the last round. We'll see if he tries to use the momentum and play for more, or if we'll get another Armageddon, because this looks over.
Wasn't it something? Yeah, that's it. Magnus with 2 seconds goes rook b2.
Yeah, it's hopeless.
That's it. I mean, Magnus did something similar to Max Odlu. Why can't they just cutting the king and then...
What? Computer says equal. What's going on?
Wow, now the rook got away.
Now the he allowed the rook on the long side. Oh, and Hikaru is touching his head.
Oh my God.
We were giving our closing speech, but now the rook has this checking distance.
Wow, what a turn of events. I mean, this is insane.
Rook h3, king e2, this is a draw, yeah?
But king d3?
But still this looks lost. I mean, the computer says it's a draw, but how do you hold this? Rook a8. Magnus might know this. He's playing very quickly. Now he just has a lot of checks.
Well,
you can see Hikaru was touching his head. He also thought the job was done. Then he made one move too quickly. Yeah. Rook endgames are too tough for humans, let's face it.
Absolutely. I mean, Magnus was down to 2 seconds and was completely busted. You already think that that's it. It's over.
Yeah. We were already giving our summing up speech. Should never do that. Well, now the king just has nowhere to hide, yeah? Yeah, Hikaru shaking his head. It's just a million checks coming.
Yeah, nowhere to hide.
Walk back and then king e2. Not sure why he allowed this, but it's apparently still a draw.
Yeah, nothing moves. Yeah, that's the problem. White can just wait. Or do you give checks? I mean, you can also give you can do whatever you want. Only when black is threatening with something, then you react.
It's funny, yeah, black can't do anything. King g4. You give a check. And you wait with your rook here. This is always a draw.
Oh,
funny construction. Yeah, Hikaru's shaking his head. He realizes he can't go anywhere.
He can't believe it.
It's just a draw now. Wow. Oof, too much drama.
Wow. This is completely insane. Chess is insane. Rook end games are insane. It's so tough. I mean, how much criticism poor Vincent received in Vaikanze for missed chances, but it just shows that these rook end games are crazy.
Much easier sitting at home with the compy, as always. And yeah, these rook end games win no time. Because normal pattern recognition doesn't apply. Like, there are so many exceptions and strange things. It's so random. Okay, now it's just agony. I mean, now I think the pattern is clear. Yes, just has to keep his rook on the H file or give checks.
Oh, now Hikaru will simply go crazy after this. I mean, such a golden opportunity.
Yeah, he's trying to touch every square with his king, but not much to hope for.
There are too many squares on the H file. There are a million checks from the other side.
Yeah. No, he already did all the useful squares with his king. Now he can just keep walking over the board. This would be extra cruel. Rook d4, saying, go h2, sir.
No. We never let that happen.
No, that's fine. Then rook h4.
And also now Magnus up on the clock with 34 seconds.
Okay, he's understood what's going on. This position they must have had before. Yeah. And Magnus draws. What an escape. He looks very happy, shaking his head in disbelief, waving off, saying this was not a good game. But yeah, heartbreak for Hikaru. Mild door slam there, understandably. And Carlsen stays up in the match, 2-1. Oof.
Wow.
Game of the day.
Usually Hikaru is the one who saves like this. Yeah, now Magnus did it. Unbelievable.
Oh, he also did it to himself from a very nice position. He after b5, he somehow took the decision he should be safe, but it wasn't safe really because the structure was also shaky. And yeah, he somehow didn't continue going with the initiative, like rook ec1 or just as a4 weird move. And here we already felt this could go wrong. No, he kept making some good moves, but the structural damage is there. You can't just simplify, make a draw.
Exactly.
King f5, Hikaru, nice winning attempt. This was already very tough. Here, I think, yeah, it makes no sense to yell every time where the computer evaluation changes. It was on the verge of disaster. I think the final moment we can highlight where it was more or less simple when we were giving our speeches. All of this was very fine. I think it's here. Here, if you go king d1, check, and king c2. Now, white is not in time to free himself. Black wins. Even this is not completely obvious to me, if I'm being honest, but we're threatening rook d1 check, so the rook has to go somewhere, and then we can just queen the pawn. And if you give a check...
No, I mean, Hikaru's problem was that it was so winning, yeah, that you already don't think that there is any danger of spoiling anything. That was the problem.
But he went king c3, which is, yeah, sort of the natural maneuver, but all of a sudden after rook a2, he can't get this rook f2 anymore. Yes. And after king d3, you get a million checks, and the position was no longer winning.
Unbelievable, yeah. What a turnaround.
Shocking stuff. We need a little breather. So will the players. Yu Yang Yi here against Caruana is still ongoing. What's the score? Do you know the score?
Yes, 2-1 for Fabi, which means that Yu Yang Yi needs to win this game to force the Armageddon.
Right.
He has some chances. I mean, he is pressing.
Yeah.
He also opted for the Reti. Yeah, now we see that it's very popular, the Reti opening, when you need to fight.
That's the new must-win opening. Good old Reti. Was he Hungarian? No, he's
no.
Czech, yeah?
He wasn't. He wasn't Hungarian. Not everybody was Hungarian after all. Yeah?
To my mind.
Oh, yes. No, I think that the point is that he was born in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but it was so big back then that it doesn't mean that you are Hungarian. Rook c8, bishop d4. Yeah, probably we just gonna cement. We don't want to trade this c3 pawns.
Okay, no, I wasn't too wrong. Reti was an Austro-Hungarian, later Czechoslovakian chess player. Okay.
Yes. I told you that he was born in the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
He was born in was now Slovakia. Yeah. Interesting.
Bishop takes a7. I mean, that's a surprise. I mean, in the must-win situation, you go for this 3 versus 2 instead of keeping more fire on board. It surprises me.
Well, he's a great defender, but we've seen endgames with little time. Stuff can happen. But yeah, this looks easier to defend than that rook endgame, at least.
But look at this. UNG has almost 6 minutes. I mean, he plays so incredibly fast, way up on the clock. On the other hand, in this position, Fabi's time is more than enough with the 3 seconds increment if he will hold. I mean, he won't lose because of the clock.
That's unlikely.
Yeah, king g8, king f7. The bishop goes back to f6.
And it looks like the final game, Nakamura Carlsen, is about to begin. Reti's back again. And we're switching there. They repeat the line from the second game. Knight c6 on the board. And yeah, Nakamura deviates with e4. The c4 didn't bring him much. Carlsen plays a solid line. Takes bishop g4 is what they do here.
Yeah, usually it's very solid for black, but Anish keeps on winning easily with the white pieces.
Well, once he won, but yeah, we'll count it.
No, he also won some other games. He beat Ding Liren. He beat Ding Liren in one of the Champions Chess Tours event.
I don't recall that. Against Shankland is the one I recall.
Yeah, that was a classical game.
Yeah.
Against Shankland.
Carlsen goes knight f6. This was not the main move. I think he was supposed to win this half tempo with bishop g4, provoke c3, then bring the knight. Because now we have to worry about some jumps. He could have mixed up the move order a little bit here. Because now white has bishop e3. And you don't have time to threaten anything.
Exactly.
Not the end of the world, of course, but maybe giving Hikaru some options.
But hang on. The players only had 5 minutes break after this previous dramatic game. I mean, how do you adjust to the new situation? To the Hikaru will be regretting his missed chance. Magnus, on the other hand, will go crazy that he could have sealed the match because he had such a wonderful position with the white piece and plenty of time on the clock. But then survive this completely hopeless endgame. So much emotions, and we already have liftoff for game 4.
So you think it would be better if Hikaru had 10 minutes to regret what happened last game?
I mean, okay, I don't know. Sometimes it's better to start immediately.
Exactly.
It's very individual, and Hikaru is also used to all these chess.com events where you don't give any time for the players to recover themselves emotionally.
Let's see. I'm sure his emotions are fine, but will he manage to defeat the world champion from this position? I think Magnus made a slight inaccuracy starting with his knight f6. After bishop e3, how do you play?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Yeah, because I never played this line. I only see that the c7 pawn is weak. Yeah, bishop is still on the board.
Yeah. The point is, you're supposed to start with this when after bishop e3. Now you have this is the finesse. But the knight's on g8.
Yeah, I remember that usually people play some c3, then rook e1, knight d2. That's what Anish
Yeah, that's the debate. You provoke c3 and then it's some sort of slowish play. Yeah, black has many options. Well, now Carlsen will have to fight. This is the best position Hikaru got out of the opening in all their matches.
Well, also that Magnus doesn't seem to be in book.
No, he wouldn't have played knight f6 if he was. It's actually surprising because he must have checked this. This is,
Yeah, for sure. It's very uncharacteristic for Magnus. Yeah, he's usually very smart with all the move orders. He might not know all the details in all the positions, but he always knows the directions.
Yeah, he's taking his time here. I think he realized he mixed up. Maybe it was, as you said, the break was too short. He looks upset too. Hikaru trying to pull himself together.
Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare scenario for Magnus. Yeah, that he thought like, wow, I survived that scare, and then suddenly the next game starts with some unpleasant questions.
It's just no fun to play chess, is it? So many questions.
Well, if things are going smoothly, then it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem for black is if he makes a normal move, let's say castles, white goes h3. If the bishop drops back, then white will usually be in time for some unpleasant jumps, establishing this knight here. Knight g5 also there. But if you have to take on f3, it's just not very pleasant. White has the two bishops. The knight can jump or even just stabilize and try to play long term with the two bishops. So something's gone a little wrong, and they're both in the center.
Yeah, Magnus is kicking himself. Hikaru has time now to realize that, yes, this will be another chance. So, yeah, get ready, forget about what happened in the previous game. You will get a chance.
Very tough for black to make a move. Computer says this is the best chance. To put the bishop here without being hit by knight g5.
And after knight d5, then how does he react? Long castles. Wow, okay. This is nice, yeah. So, in fact, knight d5 was probably premature.
Here the same, yeah. Here you can also take, well, long castles there. And if knight b5, then you have to go rook c8, but it doesn't matter, yeah. Yeah, let's see if he plays h6, so what he settles on.
Yeah, very tough move. Yeah, h6 is so tough.
This looks normal as well to me, but now white has some pressure.
Yeah, white gets knight to d5, c3, b4, and a6.
Carlsen plays a6. He misheard me. h6, Magnus. H. Okay, stopping knight b5, saying this is no big deal. He can take. But after h3,
yeah, this is the problem.
So yeah, bishop e6 is knight g5 business.
Yeah, maybe you have to take and go for this h5 and then bishop h6. Yeah, try to trade the bishops.
Yeah.
Yes. h3 play, takes, and h5 on the board. Yep. Yeah, Magnus is Magnus, adjusting to the situation.
Typical Pierce players idea, yeah, getting rid of this bishop.
Yeah, now white is also faced with some unpleasant questions. Yeah, that how do you avoid the trade? Bishop h6 is coming. Black is also setting bishop h6 and h4 together.
Knight d5 is not much.
Then we take and knight d4. Okay, what to do? Yeah, takes d6. I'm guessing this. What
this?
Okay, this we can live with. Yeah.
Still a bit of Totorovic, but maybe not too bad. Yeah, like
knowing what's in store for us anyway, it's kind of, I think black can live
acceptable.
with it.
Yeah. How does this go? And now 95 moves.
Yeah, but this is a very counterintuitive computer line. Yeah, knight takes d5, ed5. And apparently it's
counterintuitive, but very strong.
Yes, as usual with computer ideas. Wow, if you can play h4 and you don't have to worry about bishop h6, then of course h4 is very nice, taking away any kind of black's counterplay with h5, h4.
We do this as well.
Yeah, f4
then
h4.
h4. Yeah, this is no time.
This is what I'm talking about, exactly this. But apparently bishop g2, bishop h6 is again mistake because
Still
of
95. Huh? This is always the trick. So bishop h6 might not even be a threat. Yeah, black will have to play more slowly. But I'm sure that's his idea.
For sure, yeah, and that's the only thing White is thinking about, you know, how to deal with that threat. I mean, usually bishop g5 is very typical, but now the d4 square is weak, so White can't play bishop g5 due to knight d4. And in the meantime, I'm keeping an eye on the Fabi game, and it's a draw. Fabiano then has managed to win the second division with 2.5, 1.5 against Yuanji, qualifying for the main event. Congratulations.
Great job by Mr. Caruana. Yeah, that was not an easy tournament to win. If we look at the field of players, there was just as world class as Division 1. Hikaru, do you fall asleep? What's going on there?
Well, he probably understands that this is such an important. He goes bishop g5, so he does allow knight d4.
It's a strange move. Yeah, after long thought, he allows a fork.
Yeah, but this bishop a6 was too much of a psychological threat. Yeah, he's not calm enough, I think, after what happened in the previous game to be able to understand that, okay, bishop a6 is not a threat. It just, if we know from computers, then it's easy, but otherwise it just does not cross your mind.
Okay, but does cross your mind that bishop g5, knight d4 is bad, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you still know that you have to fight against bishop a6. How do I stop it? Do I have any other move? No, finally you convince yourself that I have to let knight d4 happen. Yeah, I know how this can happen. It happened to me many times.
But even knight d5 looks like a much better. Anyway, it's been played.
I mean, hang on, after knight d4, any rook sacrifice with rook takes d4, then there is no dynamic, right? e4 and e5, knight h7, or what, knight d7, knight d7, also
Too
good.
many
Yeah.
hanging pieces.
Yeah, no, it does not work. Okay, then.
Also, after knight h7, what's your point? Just.
Yeah, good question. But I mean, knight d4 is so. Yeah, knight d4 played by Magnus.
Yeah, that's a better move, but just saying bishop g5 doesn't make much sense here, because this looks like the best move, and we could even go back on it.
Yeah, very strange. Basically, maybe Hikaru believed Magnus, yeah, that he was impressed by this takes h5 reaction. But okay, hang on. I mean, do we have some king g2? Can we create something? Rook c1, knight d4. But yeah, this is very little. Knight d5, bishop d8. Takes. Okay, but still.
Game continues, but with this knight, it's hard to believe it's too bad.
Okay, we would need f4, and that's why I'm thinking now that maybe with bishop on g2, if but king g2 played. Yeah, because after bishop g2, black will have this h4 business at some point.
Well, it's a question if Carlsen takes it, because if he plays c6, apparently he also solved most of his problems. 96, and we can go back to our favorite idea of bishop h6 later.
Exactly, and no more this knight d5 business.
Yeah, he plays c6. AC1 to cover the pawn, then you also make sure the bishop can never escape this trade anymore.
Yeah, now it's a perfect position for black.
Sensible decision. And he's going to play 96 for sure. And that's what he wanted to begin with, get rid of the bishops. Now he just got a much better version.
Ah, wow, but actually Magnus just goes 97.
Oh, he goes 97. Okay, same idea, bishop h6.
Same idea, but...
Surprising he doesn't force it, but yeah, also a good move, apparently.
But yeah, poor Hikaru, I mean, he will have a lot of regrets. I mean, he had chances. He was winning in the previous game. Okay, it could have been that Magnus could have finished the match before, so one could let's forget about game 3, but also in game 4 he got the maximum that you can get against Magnus. Yeah, that you managed to touch him in his weak spot. He mixed up the move order. He was not feeling comfortable, and then unfortunately not making the most out of the chance.
Yeah, it's a stressful pace. What can you say?
Yeah,
bishop h6 played. Yeah, this looks hard to generate chances.
Yeah, Hikaru shaking his head. I mean, he is just so angry about what happened.
No, it's also the typical thing. You spend a lot of time after h5, like calculating probably the normal moves, king g2, bishop g2, knight d5, whatever, and you don't like any of them. And then you think about another move for 1 second, and you think, oh, I already spent 6 minutes. Bishop g5, yeah, stops bishop h6, let's do it. And then it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Usually when you think for a long time, you end up making a move which you haven't calculated at all.
About it all. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It happens so.
I mean, it used to be my specialty to think for 40 minutes at some point. I eliminate all the good options because something disturbs me that it's a little bit uncomfortable. Then out of nerves, I make a move, after which I get up and I say, okay, come on, everything else was 100 times better. Yeah. It's crazy.
No, it's very typical, especially in classical chess, but I guess it could be the same phenomenon. Yeah, now he has to take and play something sad. Yeah, knight e2 or knight b1.
Oh, knight b1, yes. Yeah, very sad. Well, and it's pity for us, yeah, because if Hikaru would have managed to win one of these games, then we could have had incredible entertainment. Yeah, one Armageddon for sure, and who knows, maybe more.
It's always sad when there's no more chess, Peter. But this might be the last game we get to see.
Clearly. Yeah, now Magnus is very relieved. He's back to his...
Yeah, he can just play by hand here, like put the pieces. Yes.
He thinks like after all these adventures that I created for ourselves, now finally we are in calm waters.
Think he's going to take, or he's going to keep the knight?
He takes.
Okay, too late. He takes. Yeah, why?
Yeah, he takes.
Why bother?
Yeah. But okay, with h4, he's actually even trying to squeeze out something. The knight is heading to g5, yeah, to e6, to f4, to g5. Now, which route do you choose? Knight c5. There is argument for knight c5, so that after knight d2, you have knight d3 tempo, reaching f4.
Ah, you want that way.
Even that way. I don't know if this knight f4 is because then knight c4, you get some counterplay. f6, g5.
Yeah, maybe too messy for the score.
Actually, very funny that there after f6, g5, computer was screaming that white is clearly better. So, yeah, if you try to be too smart, it can also backfire.
Computer says just this move, which looks logical, stopping any knight c4s. But, of course, it weakens some squares, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice, yeah, not to let knight c4 happen. On the other hand, knight e6, just sitting with the knight on e6, but then knight c4, f6, knight b6, and then the rook might enter to d7. But even then, rook d8 should do the job. Yeah, I mean, knight b6, rook d8, and after trade, we take with the king and kick the knight away. I can live with the repetition. But okay, still Magnus needs to make a decision. He's taking his time. Okay, definitely both players are calculating this knight d3, knight f4 because it's so tempting, but actually it can end up, the logical sequence of moves can give white good chances.
Yeah. No, especially with the score, if he sees there's complications.
Yeah.
It's 96, f6 should be a simple line for him.
On the board, yeah, Magnus doesn't want to calculate anything. I mean, in fact, he needed to calculate all these knight c4, knight b6s, but he has done that and he just controls everything. Yeah, these are the moments. I mean, yesterday I was feeling very sorry for Wesley. Now I'm feeling very sorry for Hikaru because the missed chances, those are the things that hurt the most. Yeah, you will be regretting all this.
But Hikaru's opponents also missed some chances on the way here. Yeah? Like it's they come and they go and chat.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I said. Yeah, that okay. Wesley had all reasons to be also going completely crazy for not being in the grand final.
But seems to be a bunch of chances missed and bunch of players that will be sad. But normally the final is Carlsen Nakamura, with Carlsen having this slightly upper hand, if not always. No, it doesn't seem luck. It's always the same faces we see.
Yeah, of course. Of course. If it happens once, you can speculate about luck. Yeah, and when it happens almost all the time, then it's a different story.
This on the board, yeah, this knight b6 line we showed, rook d8. And there's no real progress, so Hikaru tries knight a5. But rook b8 keeps everything under control. Now black is actually better.
Yes.
Sure, Hikaru didn't think it was better. He just tries to keep the game going, but it is not fun. Oh, and this wins a pawn, no?
Well, but he's willing to sacrifice. I think knight g5, he's gonna go king e3, gives the h3 pawn, and then rook cd1. Suddenly
rook cd1. Okay, so no blunder. Yeah, Magnus is not into it. Goes rook h8. Just preparing to go here. No need to get too crazy. Yeah, it's on the board. I can even take with the rook if he wants to be smart.
But I think he will take with the knight. Because there is nothing to be afraid of g5. We can take and get back with our horsey. Yeah, he takes with a knight.
Correct.
But Hikaru needs to play g5. If he doesn't do g5, the knight returns to e6, then
yeah, only chance.
There is nothing to talk about him.
Yeah, g5 plate. Let's see, 4 knight f7. Everything's covered.
But at least the knight was forced to f7, so it's not jumping to e6. In this case, maybe white can try to play a slow game. I mean, if the pawn would get to a5, maybe he could play, but okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to try e4. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I want to jump knight a5. b4 played. Hikaru pushes b4. He also wants to provoke b5 and then go knight a5. But Magnus will simply not touch anything on the queen side. But okay, how do you... Now with the knight on f7, you can't really get out so easily. You can, of course, just sit and wait. Yeah, with king e6, then rook f8, and you go back and forth. You up pawn up, yeah, Magnus goes rook c8. After a4, he wants to play b5. I think he prepared the move b5. Because then he will have all these c5s, everything.
Free hand, yeah.
Yes. So in fact, rook c8 is very smart. He wants b5, c5.
Saying, please jump. We can repeat moves.
So you don't mind rook d7 check. It doesn't bring anything, yeah, because after king e6 I'm stepping into, but you can also go rook d8.
Yeah, it exists, but here.
Yeah, you just win.
It looks like black is too fast.
Yeah, the check is coming. Yeah, rook c8 was a very smart little touch.
Yeah, also maybe threatening c5 directly, or... Oh, no, then knight b6, knight e5. No, that we don't.
Yeah.
We have to chase it first.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe with white, one could try a4, b5, and then knight b6. But I mean, no, knight b6, rook d8. No, knight b6, rook d8 is over.
It's trapped.
No. Doesn't work. Yeah, king
e2, but that's... even allows this.
b5
was the plan, knight e3, maybe a5.
Yeah, a5 is nice.
Yeah, a5 played. Guess he will try a3. Knight takes. Or a8.
Yeah, knight c2. I mean, he wants to create some disbalance, yeah, but it doesn't look enough, yeah. Just rook a5, knight b4, king e6. And where is the big problem? Only white has problem.
Yeah, on the board. This might be it, Peter. I don't really see Hikaru.
Yes, no.
Coming back from this. Because he has to win.
Yeah, he needs to win, definitely. I mean, he's probably just lost. The big question is if Magnus wants to win it or just shut the game down.
g4 check is nice. If he wants to be funky.
But also something like rook c2 is very natural. Yeah, just to fix this rook to d3 and nothing moves. But g4 played. Magnus goes for it.
Yeah, it's also crushingly strong. Yeah, if hg, knight g5, king e3, h3, or Compi says rook c2, even more precise. And the h pawn runs.
Yeah, this is the end.
Yeah, hg played because king g4, rook f2. Might be better in computer lingo, but at least all the pawns disappear. So you have to try this. And he starts with rook c2, even not giving the knight check. Yeah, it's hopeless.
Yeah, this almost feels like those kind of moments when white maybe has to offer a draw if he does not want to lose the game. It doesn't matter at all, but it's just such a sad scenario now.
No, but the last game was the decisive one. You had to come back from that one. Very tough, even if you got to give him a good position, but it's also so exhausting not to win that one.
For sure, yeah. Magnus showed some small weakness in this game. Yeah, he was also still affected, but then everything went. And that's it.
Draw agreed, yeah, as you predicted. You offer a draw with rook d3, so he doesn't lose. Knight g5, h3. Magnus also showing some dignity, saying, no, I don't need to rub this in. And very happy to win the event. Congratulations to the world champion for winning the Airthings Masters. against Hikaru Nakamura. This was the final match because Magnus came from the winner's bracket. And if you lose 2 matches, you're out. Carlsen, without a single loss, wins the Airthings Masters. Hikaru Nakamura only was defeated by the world champion, Magnus Carlsen, twice, won all his other matches. These 2 guys have been dominant. Congrats to both. Always a pleasure to see them face each other. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was an amazing match. There was this moment that Hikaru almost came back, but Magnus survived and went on to win. And well, I mean, overall, this was a double elimination knockout. Magnus haven't been knocked out at all, not even once. So absolutely justified victory.
Yeah, congratulations to the world champion. Thanks to Airthings for sponsoring this event with the discount code CHESSAIR, the biggest discount ever. You get $100 off and can start working on better air in your home. Thanks to everybody else who put this together, chess.com, teams at chess.com, chess24, the other sponsors. And thanks to you, Peter. Pleasure to be able to do this with you. We'll see what the future brings, but always nice to hear you talk about chess.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jan. Yeah, I'm also thanking everyone involved in the tournament. I also believe that we should mention, because this was Division 1, the main event, Magnus Carlsen winning it, but Fabiano Caruana won Division 2 and qualified to the next main event in April, which also we have to say that Hikaru Nakamura and also Wesley So qualified from the main event as well. So 3 players we have from the main event, Fabiano Caruana from the Division 2, and Sam Sevian beating Pragnanda in Division 3 means that Sevian will have the chance to play in Division 2 in the April event. So there are all these league kind of things, very interesting, lot of chess, lot of excitement in every single division. Of course, we are focusing in the very main event, and now we see already 4 giants guaranteed for the next event and all the other players from the direct qualification tournament. So really looking forward to the next event. It was exciting. It was new. I mean, we still have to, during the tournament, we were wondering what's next, who qualified where, who is playing whom. Now I think everybody understood the system. We know what's in store for us and looking forward to the next edition. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody. I'm sure you can catch the interviews with the world champion and maybe Hikaru as well on the other channels. Go check them out right now.
It doesn't look like much, but neither would a Sicilian defense to the untrained eye. This is a performance enhancer. You don't see it? How about now? Manage your air quality, sharpen your performance, change the game with Airthings.